All right, everybody, welcome to JG9 Live. Hope you guys are ready to have a lot of fun tonight over the next 6 hours or so. 6 hours of commercial-free football. We have the XFL game number 1 taking place in just a few moments between the San Antonio Brahmas and the Orlando Guardians on ESPN if you want to watch. Again, I cannot legally show the game, but it is on ESPN if you want to watch the game. We'll start at 4 o'clock Eastern. I should know Indiana and Iowa women's basketball is the lead-in program for that. It's 83-all right now in the fourth quarter, so if that game goes into overtime, we will see what happens. The XFL has a bit of a dilemma at that point, because on one hand, you could delay the start time by a few minutes. On the other hand, you have a game coming up 3 hours later at 7 o'clock. You don't want any overlap between Arlington and Houston, and that should be a phenomenal game. Both teams want to know. So we will see what happens here. So right now, Iowa's got the ball, just crossing her fingers. It does not go into OT, so this game can start on time and on ESPN. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Layup is no good. 6.25. Indiana's got it. They call time out with 4.6 seconds. So nervy moments right now for the XFL. Kind of a reverse SNL thing from 2001. But again, my name is Jared9. You guys know the drill if you've been here before. If you have any questions for me about anything at all, just fire away in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. If you want to have your question moved to the front of the queue so I get to it right away, we have that donation leaderboard. Otherwise, I'm just going to go in the order that I see the questions. But again, thank you so much for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, depending on where you are. We are going to be here all day. 6 straight hours you get to listen to my thoughts, and hopefully I have a voice left by the end of it. This is nothing for me, though. This is absolutely nothing for me. I've called baseball doubleheaders before. I've done 2 sports. I've done 3 sports in one time. So this is nothing for me. Cannot wait to watch one of the teams of all time, the Orlando Guardians. Oh, they were the worst team in the XFL week 1. They were Vegas had them as the odds-on favorite to be the worst team, and you can see why. Especially with how bad Paxton Lynch looked, and has always looked. Hello, watching the stream for now because I'm going to a show. Well, what show are you seeing? That's awesome, but what show are you seeing? Thank you for tuning in. Greetings, everyone. Who do you have winning today? I will take San Antonio in this one, and I will take that's tough. I think I'm going to go Houston for the second one. Right, Indiana's got a 3, 2, 1. That's a tough shot. Was there a foul on the play? There was a foul. Okay. Indiana's going to the line. Indiana's going to the line to shoot 2. There is a foul on the play. That is good news. We do not want... This has been a great game. It's been a great game. I've watched the last 10 or so minutes of it, at least, because I was watching the Suns game, and oh, man, that was... That one hurt. That one hurt. That one hurt, especially because I didn't have Giannis. That one hurt, but you get that board at the end, who knows? Get that board at the end, who knows? We have a $5 from Weather Chart. Thank you so much. Weather in Orlando. Okay, Weather Chart with the weather report. Here we go. Sunny, 86 degrees with a chance of rain. Or no chance of rain. So what you're telling me is that the weather in Vegas was better yesterday. Wind west at 7 miles per hour, 38% humidity, much better than Vegas. Staying like this the whole game. That is awesome. So the fans have no excuse not to show up, which is good at least. I didn't realize until oh, now they're reviewing the play. Oh, this might take a while. I didn't realize until afterwards that Vegas painted the field. They actually painted the field. That's why it looked terrible. That franchise is a joke. I'm not talking about the quality of the play, although it was not good. But you cannot have a team in Vegas. That was just embarrassing for the league. Who would I like for the Jaguars to draft in the first round? I don't know yet. I haven't really looked at the prospects. I don't really do that until the Combine. Plus, this is a weird year because usually with the Jaguars, my thing is that, okay, whoever I want, we get. Or we can try and get. Because we have a high pick. We don't have a high pick this year. We picked number 24. Not that I'm complaining at all. But I don't know who's going to be on the board. I don't know how the board's going to shape up. So I can't really answer that question just yet. All right, 85-83, Indiana, 1.5 seconds left. Iowa calls timeout. This is absolutely big. Not just for this game, obviously. Again, a great game between two top 6 teams in the nation in women's basketball, but it's a big deal because we might not know if the XFL game is going to start on time or not. Jaguar Grossi 9. When Tom Grossi goes to the NFL, I'm trying to be, I guess, with the XFL. Again, we are doing some Monday night streams next year, which is going to be awesome. After Arizona State defeated Arizona 89-88, JG9 was beyond belief. If only his Jaguars could ever win a game by 1 point on a 3-pointer with no time left on the clock. Yeah, and if I was there for that, that would be amazing. The worst team in Orlando versus one of the teams in San Antonio. Yeah, I can't really say the Brahmas. Even despite their 0-1 start, their choke, let's call it for what it is, their choke against St. Louis last week. I can't really say they're the worst team because the Spurs exist right now. They look absolutely terrible. I'm from Ohio. We cannot pick a favorite team. I love Seattle, but those colors are awful. What are your favorite XFL and USFL teams? All right, I don't have a favorite team. There's no local team by me, so I don't have a favorite team. I was a Guardians fan back in 2020 when it was New York, but I have no affiliation to any team as things stand. So I have no XFL team. USFL team, I don't really have a team because no one played in their home city beside Birmingham. So even if I wanted to be a fan, what's the point? The game will probably start on ESPN Plus if this game goes into OT. Yeah, that would... Maybe ESPN News. It might start ESPN News. I could see that. They usually do that as the overflow program for a lot of sports. So I could see that being on ESPN News. This would not be a good week for the XFL. You had the disaster yesterday in Vegas. The game not starting on time. This could be a problem. I'm already getting that baseball. It's you and me both. I cannot wait for the season to start. I cannot wait. Jordan Walker hit a bomb in one of his first at-bats since spring. Future Cardinals legend. Love to see it. Go for San Antonio as a Steelers fan. I'm excited to see Hines Ward's head coach. Joey Porter as linebackers coach. All right, they're trying to 3, so this will not go into OT. He got it! Oh my goodness, she got it! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Well, that's the way to end the game. Holy cow! Iowa, 86-85. We are starting the XFL game on time. What an amazing shot by Clark. Oh my goodness. That was great defense, too. That was an impossible shot. All right, they just announced kickoff is going to be at 4:04 Eastern. Am I going to spring training games in Arizona? Probably not. It's actually more expensive to go to spring training games than it's actual D-backs games, so there's no real point. There's no real point for me to go to spring training games. What an amazing shot. I know this is an XFL stream, but all right, we're starting with fireworks early on. That was a heck of a game, that a million times better than whatever happened in Vegas last week. Or yesterday, rather. What a shot by Clark. Holy cow. And he's one of the best players of the nation for a reason. What a shot. Indiana, their second loss of the season. Oh, my. It's a nice scream. I mean, that's a tough shot. I mean, yeah, you get caught on the screen like that, it's going to create some separation, but I don't know how you can play much better defense than that. I really don't know. That is just incredible. All right, the XFL's got a lot to live up to because that was a heck of a lead-in. Oh, my goodness. Can you do a video on your college football channel on the Bison Dynasty? Their winning is unprecedented. They won 9 championships in 11 years, 10 championship game appearances in 12 years. I mean, the Bison have been really impressive, don't get me wrong. Really, really impressive. Would I do a video on it? Probably not, unless I can find a new angle, because a lot of people have talked about it, so. Sean Payne hired Joe Lombardi as his offensive coordinator. Did he not watch any Chargers games last year? The more I'm not saying it's not going to work out, but the more that comes out about the whole Sean Payton thing, the more I'm getting less and less convinced that this can work. Because it looks like there's tension. You can't get rid of Russ, and it looks like there's already tension between Sean and Russ based on all the reports coming out. Joe Lombardi is the OC, terrible hire. Vance Joseph is the DC, not a good hire. I'm just not crazy about the staff that he's building. I don't know. I don't know. The more that happens with Sean Payton in Denver, the more I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work. At least not right away. Here's to the XFL rebounding after last night's joke of a game. You didn't like last night's game? With an off-green field and kickers slipping and sliding all over the place? You didn't like that one? Why did I choose the name Vegas Vipers besides the name and aesthetic being cool? I mean, that's a good reason to choose a team. Too bad they're probably not going to exist next year. Probably it'll be the San Diego Vipers or something like that. What a crazy finish in Iowa. That might be the best buzzer beater women's basketball I've seen since the national championship. I mean, that was amazing. That was amazing. I can vouch for the Orlando forecast. It is as nice as it sounds. Seems like good football weather. All right, we are switching over to the XFL. There is the graphic. Here we go. 6 hours of commercial-free football, at least on me, on my channel, starts right now with the San Antonio Brahmas and the Orlando Guardians trying to avoid falling to 0-2. It looks beautiful outside. Camping World Stadium in Orlando. It's a giant stadium. They're not going to fill it. Let's see how it looks, at least. They just canceled the ASU High Point. Yes, I was going to go to that. That's a bummer. I'm disappointed. Because how many times do you get to see your alma mater from the East Coast go to the West Coast? How many times do you get to see that? Because they were supposed to play in California, but they're playing in Alabama now. So, yeah, it's a real bummer. But I get it. I completely get it. SX logo is why I'm a Devils fan despite never living anywhere near New Jersey. That makes sense. Do you think Justin Herbert is the most cuddled player in the league? He's a great QB, but I'm always annoyed that he gets a free pass, especially after that 27-0 debacle. Staley needs the boot. I think we need a season without Joe Lombardi calling screen passes all the time as his OC before we can say that. Staley does need the boot, don't get me wrong. I think what people forget about the whole 27-0 debacle, it was 24-0 at one point, and Herbert missed a wide-open player in the end zone. I forget who it was. But he missed a wide-open player in the end zone on third down, on 3rd and goal. He hits that throw. 31-0, they're not coming back from that. 27-0, you can do it. I mean, we saw it. 31-0, probably not. As a Vikings fan, I'm glad Minnesota doesn't have an XFL team because if something stupid happens in the game and the Burger King commercials come on, I can just enjoy it and not be mad. Be careful what you wish for. I like your video on the Green Bay Packers and the Milwaukee Brewers. Thank you so much. Video from the 1987 season, how badly the field got messed up because of that game. For those who don't know, I also have a baseball channel now. Jaguar Gator 7. Just launched this past week. We have 2 videos up right now. We have a video on Raul Mondesi, his strange debut with the D-backs. We have a video on a bizarre home run hit by the Marlins that was highly controversial. So we have those 2 videos coming up, or they're already up. We have a video that will drop in the next week on something that happened during the 1989 World Series. We'll have another video that takes place this week, hoping to get out tomorrow. If all goes according to plan, we'll see, about the Pittsburgh Pirates and a bizarre controversy there. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up on that baseball channel. So stay tuned for that. All right, honestly, the crowd doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look terrible unless they filled it for TV and they're not showing the other side. Like, I don't know if they only sold one side. If they sold the whole way through, honestly, for the lower bowl of a 65,000 seat stadium, that doesn't look awful. attendance-wise. That doesn't look terrible. Now, the Battlehawks, at least, when they play in Week 4, they are opening up season tickets now for the upper level, which is going to be amazing. All right, they sold the whole way through. Honestly, that doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. I got to be honest. That doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. Remember, this is a 65,000 seat stadium. Brahmas is going to start with the ball 20, 25, 30. He's got a hole 35 down at the 40-yard line, and he might get a face mask on there. You might get a face mask at the end of the return. There's 2 flags. They might both be for face mask. You can't have to remember, Cashman Field is a 9,500 seat ballpark. This is a 65,000 seat stadium, so it's not going to look pretty unless it's. But the lower bowl honestly doesn't look terrible. I would wager there's probably about 13,000, 14,000 people there. That is definitely a face mask. Saw it all the way. Packers been about, MCS was about 82 Bills and Packers game, not 87. Proving once again 1982 is the most historic year in NFL history despite only being half a season. I did 2 videos. I did a video on 82 and 87. 87 Packers Broncos and 82 Packers Bills. I actually have 2 videos on how bad Milwaukee County Stadium was. I had a nickel for every time. All right, first play. And it's a handoff up the middle that goes absolutely nowhere. Second down at the 45-yard line. So only 10:04 a.m. in New Zealand, I want BK. Where should Jacoby Myers go now that he's a free agent? All right, he's probably the best spot would be somewhere he could be a good wide receiver 3, I think. Because I think if he's your wide receiver 2, you need to upgrade at wide receiver. So let's think. Honestly, Indy's not a bad choice. Gain a 10 on the catch there is TJ Vasher on the grab, so it's going to be 3rd and 1, ball to the 35-yard line. Indy's not the worst place. Indy's not a terrible destination. Myers and Indy, I could see it. Orlando Unities look like a variation of the Orlando Ducks series. Yeah, this uniform matchup is not exactly the most appealing on the eyes. 3rd and 1, 4 down territory. Receiver in motion. We're going up the middle and stuffed again. So the Guardians defense. Kalen Ballage, the former Arizona State back, stopped for a loss of 2 by Terrence Plummer. The Brahmas cannot get that run game going. Most teams struggled getting the run game going last week. We saw Vegas, yesterday in Vegas, we saw DC finally get a run game going. They were really the first team to do so. Every team so far having trouble with the run. They're only going to say it was a loss of 1, so make it 4th and 2. Ball is now at the 37-yard line. Here we go. Again, 4 down territory. You have Jack Cohn back there. Cohn takes the snap. He's looking. He's staring at one guy, and he gets it. He was only looking one way. He was not going through his reads. He was waiting on that play for number 88, Elise Mack, to get open. Right at the sticks. 1st and 10. Did not go through his progressions. There was a one-shot deal, but it worked out. Can't complain. Can't complain about that. Your thoughts on Ocho Cinco literally living at Paul Brown's same during his first 2 years with the Bengals? Something about that doesn't add up. I don't know what it is. Something about that does not add up. All right, play action. Cohn going to the sticks. He's got his man down at the 18. It's TJ Vasher with his second catch of the drive. Should get them into the red zone. 18 down to the 18. Because Ocho Cinco is also very, very generous with the amount of money he gives away in terms of tipping people and whatnot. He spends money like crazy. So something about that doesn't add up. But if he did, I mean, good for him. Good for him being frugal and smart with his money. All right, there's definitely movement. But who jumped first? At least from my vantage point, I did not see a Brahma move on the line. At least from my vantage point. Oh, it wasn't even that. It's 12 men on the defense. Oh. It's 12 men on the defense, so move them up 5. Why is spring training so spendy? You get a lot of snowbirds. A lot of snowbirds. I just don't get the point of going to spring training games necessarily. As it's a gain of 2 on the run. It's Ballage once again. Still the lead back. I just don't get the point, I guess, because D-backs games are cheaper. And it's indoors. And the games count. And the facilities are nicer. Like, can you imagine if the NFL preseason games cost more than regular season games? Now, obviously, a spring training game costs way less than if you're like a Yankees fan or a Cardinals fan going to one of those games. 10-5, down at the 3-yard line. It's going to be number 84, Dion Yelder. So first and goal at the 3. Brahmas got great field position, and they are taking advantage of it. But I just don't see a point necessarily going to spring training games. Especially nowadays. Now they changed the schedule where you'll get to see your team play. Every single team in the league. They're going to mark at the 1-yard line. Like, because of the new balanced schedule, you're going to see teams playing. And Ballage, they got to figure something out with this run game. This is not working. Second and goal at the 3, loss of 3. Ballage has negative yardage. Like just hypothetically, the D-backs, they play every single team in the league this year. And next year, they'll do the same thing. They'll play every single team. So you'll get to see your team play once every 2 years at least, wherever you're located in the country. So it's not like this is your one shot. Yeah, of course I remember Rennie Johnson's pitch killing bird. That's one of the funniest things. I mean, rip to the bird, but that was one of the funniest things I've seen. Cone drops back, play action. He's got a man in the end zone. It is caught by Dion Yelder, his second catch of the drive. Got him to the 1-yard line and then gets him into the end zone for the touchdown. The Brahmas strike first. Opening drive score, 6-0. And we'll see what they decide to do here on the conversion. Again, you can go for 1 point from the 2, but it looks like based on Heinz Ward's indication, they're going to go for 2 points from the 5-yard line. And you can go for 3 from the 10, but it looks like they're just going to go from the 5-yard line and try to make it 8-0. See, one man lined up out wide. You got Jalen Tolliver, one-on-one. You wonder if it's going that way. They're going to that side of the field. They are looking for Tolliver, and it is incomplete. Good coverage on the play there by the cornerback, number 21, Shaq Wiggins. Tell me, Tony Romo, I called the play pretty much. They're going to the right side to Tolliver. But a nice throw there to Yelder. Jack Cohn's impressing me. Jack Cohn impressed me last week. They just couldn't finish. The Brahmas' problem last week was not that they couldn't move the ball. They just couldn't capitalize. They committed dumb penalties. They couldn't get anything going on the ground. But Cohn got them moving. If they can finish drives, they're going to be a contender this year. Have I ever checked out the Indoor Football League, especially with a few teams staying away in Arizona? I have. I've never been to a game, but I mean, I've been to NAL games. I've been to AFL games, obviously, but I have not been to an IFL game. I got to check one out. Largest stadiums in the XFL and MLS only sell tickets for the lower bowl. Yeah. How has Matt Patricia never made dumb decisions? Well, Patricia was the head coach up until the midway point of 2020. I didn't really start dumb decisions until, like, for an actual season until the 2020 season, so we didn't really make it that way. Plus, I didn't really do videos on current events back then. He would have made it if it wasn't for that. Attendance from Vegas, 6,023. I don't believe it either. Maybe they got the numbers reversed. Maybe it was 3,026. Maybe it was that. When the NFL had 3 divisions in each conference, it was interconference every 3 seasons instead of 4. Yes. From what I remember, yes. You're so much younger than I thought. Thank you. 25. 25. Sucks not to have ESPN. I can't watch any of these games. There are some websites out there. I cannot reveal the names, but there are some websites out there. Can you do a video on how the state of Minnesota hosted in 1991 World Series, Stanley Cup, and the Metrodome? Thought about that. I have thought about that. We'll see. What's the last commercial to be a hit like the BK commercials? Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Universally loved. Never got old. They retired it at the right time. Scoop, there it is. It's one of the all-time greatest ads. That's the last one to be a hit like that. What's the earliest the A's will move to Vegas? We got to get the stadium built, and that's going to take some time. I would say earliest, I would say 2026. That's the earliest. I don't see the point of going for anything but 3 points unless you need 1 or 2. I don't see the point of going for 1. I'll put it that way. I get the idea of going for 2 from the 5-yard line, because 5 yards versus 10 yards is a bit risky. But 1 and 2, I don't get the point. Yeah, honestly, the attendance, they sell the lower bowl only. The lower bowl looks about 80% full. Oh, wait, they did not sell the other side. I just saw it. They did not sell the other side. All right, that changes things. That changes things. They did not sell the other side. They just showed a shot of Heinz Ward with an interview. They did not sell the other side of the stadium. They confined it to one side. That's not as good as I thought then. So about 8,000 fans there. All right, Guardians now have it, and they're going to start this drive at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10. Paxton Lynch under center. God help us. If it's anything like his NFL career, or maybe they did sell the other side. Maybe certain sections got ripped off? That corner is not sold. I can't quite tell. Did they sell the other side of the stadium? There's a whole section on the corner in the lower bowl that's empty, but I don't know if it's just that one section or if they didn't sell the whole side. And Lynch bobbles the snap. All right, we're off to a good start. Lynch going deep, though, and that is, oh my goodness, he salvaged that. He salvaged that. How the heck did he salvage that? They have it at the 35-yard line now. Remember, Lynch threw a touchdown on the last game on the opening drive, but that was on a play that really should have been ruled a pick. That he bobbled the snap, but a nice recovery, and that was actually a really nice throw. I got to give him credit. That was actually a really nice throw. Handoff. And it picks up a first down, gain of 14. It is Jermaine Martin, really one of the only bright spots for the Guardians last week. Then they stopped giving him the ball. But hang on, this one is probably coming back. It's going to be holding on the offense, so move it back, 1st and 20. But Jermaine Martin, one of the bright spots, he was an absolute wrecking ball, and then they just stopped giving him the ball for some reason. I don't know why. But I think he had like 40-some-odd yards in the first quarter. He was breaking tackles left, right, center, and he just never got the ball after that. Should the NFL put a 3-point conversion play with a 15? No, absolutely not. I'm fine with it here. It's a gimmick for this. Right, 1st and 20. Lynch, and he gets sacked. Offensive line just completely collapsed right there. Sack on the play by Delonte Scott. That'll set up 2nd and 29. Ball's now at their own 46-yard line. They are in some serious trouble. Can't really put the blame on Lynch for that one. Left tackle just got completely blown up, and Delonte Scott came in with the hit. So 2nd and 27. We have a $5 from Nikki C. Thank you so much. Will the XFL be better than the USFL, or will the USFL be better than the XFL? Look, the quality of the play is better in the XFL. The quality of the play is much better in the XFL. That's a gain of 1 on the play. Now, if you watch yesterday's game, I apologize because that statement seems like a lie, but relatively speaking, the play is better in the XFL than the USFL. On top of that, the XFL, they play in their own markets, The USFL, they still are not playing in their own stadiums. There are 8 teams in the league. Only 3 of them are playing in home stadiums this year. So just off of that, I have to go with the XFL. I'm rooting for both leagues. More football is better for everyone, but the XFL, I've noticed a huge quality difference between that and the USFL. They call it draw play. It's going to be to Martin. 40, 35, 30. Nice juke move. They got the first down. 20, 15. Barrels his way to the 13-yard line. What a run by Jermaine Martin to the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 36 yards. What a call. You're not going to get the first down throwing, so you might as well run, see if you can get into 4-down territory, maybe set up for a field goal. But Jermaine Martin, 36-yard run. I think that's the longest run by any XFL player this season. I think he's already matched his total from last week. Martin up the middle again and barrels his way forward for a gain of 4. I really like the Martin kid. I really, really like the Martin kid. Look, to have the energy to do that, run for 4, barrel forward, break tackle, keep your leg moving after running for 36 yards on the last play, I'm telling you, there's something about this guy. This guy's got a shot in the NFL. This guy's got a shot. Because you can never have too many power backs. Like, I love it. The Jags picked him up, honestly. All right, pitch out play to Kelvin Taylor, son of Fred Taylor, a gain of about 2 on the play, 3rd and 4. Because right now, here's the thing. The Jags don't have a power back. Jermichael Hasty's not a power back. Travis Etienne is not a power back. Snoop Conner, not really a power back. I don't know what he is. The Jags need a power back, a goal line back. They need someone that's just a bulldozer or a bruiser. We need to, honestly, if I'm the Jaguars, I'm looking at this and saying, you know what, for goal line situations, let's do it. Let's do it. Have him come in, compete with Tim Connor for that final job. He becomes your goal line back. Etienne's your number 1 back. Hasty replaces Etienne when the time comes. Lynch wide open in the end zone, and that is caught for a touchdown. So opening drive touchdowns. Anything you can do, I can do better. Eli Rogers with the grab. They convert a 3rd and 26, shades of the Philadelphia Eagles, and that time Paxton Lynch hits a wide open Eli Rogers in the end zone. And unlike the last touchdown he threw against Houston, there's no controversy about that one whatsoever. Yeah, they did not sell that side of the field. They did not sell that side of the field. So that is not looking, so they sold about 45% of the lower bowl. A 65,000 seat stadium, you're probably looking at about 8,000 fans there. And they're going for 1. They are going for 1 point from the 2-yard line. So what they do here, they brought Martin back in. They're going to give it to him. And a nice hit in the backfield there by the Brahmas. It is going to be on the play. Number 5, Tenny Adewusi. So neither team able to get their conversions, but we've got 2 touchdowns, back-to-back opening drive scores. This is a fun game so far. This has been a fun game. Look, the Vegas game yesterday was really disappointing. It was really terrible. But this is more like it. Some nice football here. It started with a beautiful throw by Lynch on the first play after bobbling the snap. That could have been disastrous. 3rd and 26 run. Very, very nice play. Very, very nice play. The excuse for interleague not being introduced in baseball was because they didn't know if it should count for overall records. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I don't doubt it. It's just crazy to think about. An episode of Wheel of Fortune had Whoop There It Is as a puzzle solution. That's tough because you had Whoop There It Is and Whoop There It Is at the same exact time. They were hit songs at the same time. So there was Whoop There It Is and there was Whoop There It Is. Herb Ron Manford is so desperate to get them out of Oakland they're willing to have them play at the Vegas AAA venue for free. I'd rethink that after last week, or after yesterday. Is there a chance to get an XFL Dumb Decision series? Maybe. It really just depends. I've got so much on my plate in terms of content that I'm not sure I could do XFL on top of that for actual videos, but We'll see. We'll see at some point down the road. There's so many things I want to do. I just don't have the time. But there's so many things I want to do with this channel and this media brand that we're starting. And there's an opportunity that hopefully will be coming up in the next, like we'll be finalizing the details in the next week. And I'll let you know when the time comes. But it's a way to get more NFL stories out necessarily. So we'll see. We will see. JG9 already has a special place in dumb decision hell for Rod Woodson. Oh, he is quite the coach. He is quite the coach. Still can't believe DeMar Hamlin is going to play for the Bills after he's fully recovered. I think he should retire because life is more important than football. I mean, I agree. The fact that he's recovered is amazing. Look, if the doctors cleared him, then he's good to go. It's really just about did the doctors clear him or not. Was this a one-time thing, or is this a possible life or death situation? Yeah, USFL needs to get out of the hubs. Do I follow any sports outside the U.S.? I'm a diehard Fulham fan. So Premier League. I used to watch, when it was on ESPN Plus, it's not on there anymore, but I used to watch a lot of Caribbean T20. I'm not a huge cricket fan in terms of the test matches, but the T20 games that take under 3 hours, I love watching those. I used to, when I went on cruises and they showed them, I used to literally go back to my stateroom and watch those games whenever they aired on ESPN. And there was nothing going on the ship. I was like, I have to turn on ESPN and watch this. And then I watched it on ESPN Plus for a while, but they got rid of it. Plus, T20, the Caribbean's a bit weird because you can't really follow a team because the rosters change every single year, so there's no real point. And they kind of play the hub style where they don't play in the home cities necessarily. They just play all around the West Indies. But yeah, I used to watch T20 a lot. But Premier League, I mean, yeah, I love Premier League. Die-hard Fulham fan. So I'm loving life this season. Thought there's a chance to make it relegated. And here we are, possibly fighting for a spot in Europe. I don't think it's going to happen. We've got a tough stretch coming up. And we got Leeds United in the round of 16 in the FA Cup. Fingers crossed there. At home, you can't ask for a better draw than that, so we'll see. First and 10, their own 25-yard line. Jack Cohn trying to lead a drive here. Play action pass. Steps in the pocket. Fires down the middle of the field. It is caught 40. And he's going to be going to the 45, down at the 47-yard line on the play. It is number 80, Jalen Tolliver. Seems like the go-to guy is wide receiver. He seems like the number one guy on the team. Wide receiver-wise, Tolliver and Vasher. But there is a flag on the play. If it stands, it's a gain of 22. If it stands, but it looks like Cohn and company are moving back. Personal foul. Block below the waist. So back him up. Back him up. USFL is doing no favors by staying stuck in the safe space of Birmingham instead of trying to reach a deal with MLS stadiums to use them when the soccer teams are. Yeah. Really, I just don't know how this hub model is going to help save money. I don't know. I get how it saves money the first year when you're playing at one city. But when you're playing at 4 different cities, how is this saving money? Because the money you might save on travel, you're losing because you're not going to sell tickets for these games. No one's going to a game in Birmingham that doesn't involve the Birmingham team. No one's going to give in Memphis that doesn't involve the Memphis Showboats. Equally passed there by Cohn, 2nd and 22. What implemented by the XFL should carry over to the NFL? Transparency with the referees, the sky judge. I like that. Kickoff rules. I really like the kickoff rules. Not 4th and 15, but I do like the kickoff rules. Of the guys don't move until the ball is caught. You have to reach the 20-yard line. I haven't seen any injuries on kickoffs, which is a very good thing. I haven't seen kickoffs, which is nice. We have a $2 from Zach. Thank you so much. What is your favorite NFL season to cover on JG9? If I can find random stuff on 1982, I love doing that. I also love finding replacement player stories from 1987. Fumble on the play. A nice play there by the Brahmas to fall in it is Cole Leval, who falls on the fumble. Cohn just dumped it off over the middle on the drag route. Fumble on the play by Tolliver. And the offensive lineman Cole picks it up at the 20-yard line, so gain of 7. Nervy moments there. 3rd and 15. It's a long play, but again, the Guardians convert 3rd and 26, so anything's possible. But yeah, 1982 I love covering. 87 I love covering if I can find random stuff on that. And honestly, anything from like 1970, anything like the This Week in Pro Football days, when they were at their peak, I love that. And that's another throw to Tolliver, but that is well short of the sticks. So make it 4th and 11. They went to Tolliver on 1st down, 2nd down, and 3rd down. And in the end, they will be punting a 3 and out for the Brahmas. Yeah, this game's already better than yesterday. Happy Sunday. I hope this game is doing right. This game's been really fun so far. Honestly, there have been quite a few good plays. I'm not a fan of the advertising on the field in general. I get it. I'm actually shocked more leagues don't do that. Not the NFL. I don't want to give the NFL any ideas. I really don't want to give the NFL any ideas. But it's an easy way to make money for a lot of leagues that need the money. And it's not that intrusive. Punt on the play. Field at the 26-yard line. Got a block to the 30, 35, out of bounds at the 38-yard line. The return on the play there, I do not have that number on my depth chart. Or actually I do. It's Ranthony Texada. It's Ranthony Texada on the play. So Guardians will take over, trying to take their first lead of the game. Do you remember Colin Munro from the Caribbean Premier League? He's a Kiwi. I don't remember him. I don't remember specific players. 41-yard line. Is DeMar Hamlin guaranteed comeback player of the year if he plays? I think so. Yeah, XFL shorts I could do. And that is an incomplete pass on the screen. It was dropped on the play there by... I don't have a number 19 on my depth chart. I know it's number 18. That's why. Andrew Jamil. So incomplete pass there. Second time again. Remember, the clock runs on incomplete passes up until a 2-minute warning. If the A's went to Vegas, does Portland have a better chance to get an expansion team? I think we'll go to 32 at some point. Portland's an option. Vegas we'll get the A's. It's really Nashville, Charlotte, and Portland are going to fight for some spots. No gain on the run there, so 3rd and 10. So I could see a situation when they go to 32. The Rays move out of Tampa, and then the other two cities that I mentioned get expansion teams. I could see that. Some decisions might have been renamed Denver decisions if they kept Hackett. That would have been good. Has there ever been an NFL or college football controversy involving Siskel and Ebert, whether movie reviews or NFL or college football preamps? I don't think so, but if I can find one, I'll let you know. Lynch going deep on 3rd down, and that is an incomplete pass. Miscommunication there. It looked like he was targeting Jamil, but they were not on the same page, so 3 and out. Hypothetically, would I like to see relegation in North American sports leagues like the Premier League and the Champions League? All right, I would like to see it in MLS at some point, because I think we're going to get to a point where the league's going to get too big. And by that, I mean a closed system where you have like 40 teams and 20 play in MLS 1 and 20 play in MLS 2. Like you go to 40, because right now we're going to keep expanding. And it's going to get to a point where the schedule is just going to become all wonky and all weird. And I don't like 60% of the teams in the playoffs. I don't like that at all. Like this new playoff format's terrible. Don't get me wrong, I love playoffs. This new format's garbage. So there's a playing game, and then there's a best of 3, but then it's not best of 3 anymore. I don't get it. It would have been the same number of games if you just did home and home for the conference quarters, the conference semis, and then went to one leg for the finals and the MLS Cup. And no one would complain about that. All right, 1st and 10 for the Brahmas at the 28-yard line. And I would like to see it in Major League Baseball. If there's a way to do it in MLB, I would actually really like to see that. But I get why. I completely get why it's not going to happen. The owners would never allow it. MLS with a closed system is the only one I think has a realistic shot at happening. And they can't get anything going on the ground. 2nd and 12. Ballage gets stuffed behind the line. Do you think the NFL might get this as a minor league? No, they have a minor league, college football. They don't need... And if they needed a minor league, they would get a fall minor league, and they play Tuesday, Wednesdays. XFL almost already have more attendance than the USFL in 1 week. That doesn't shock me. That does not shock me. All right, 2nd and 11. Ball's at the 27-yard line. Cone. Fires the sticks. He's got his man down at the 39-yard line. And that is DeReese Robertson Jr. on the grab. Gain of 12. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Great game right now, 6-6. Do you think cricket and baseball will exist in 50 years' time? Yes. Oh, absolutely. There's never going to be the question is will they be as popular, but there's never going to be a doubt that they'll exist or not. The biggest downside of a greatest team in history always comes down to whether your Super Bowl is a blowout. If my fond memories of the 94 Niners are any indication. That's a good point. Like, greatest teams in history, usually the Super Bowl is a blowout. Although, to be fair, if the 07 Patriots beat the Giants, no one would have cared about... I mean, if you reverse the score of Super Bowl 42, 07 Patriots are the greatest team of all time. 72 Dolphins, undefeated. That was only a 7-point game. People call the 99 Rams one of the best teams ever. That Super Bowl was really, really close. Do you think Lions cutting Michael Brockers? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Steve. I'm not sure. So that's the same state where Bobby Hutcher helped the South Central Louisiana State Mud Dogs come back. Want to make pre-merger videos? Yes. The only problem with pre-merger is tough to find footage. That's the only problem. But there is so many crazy stuff, so many crazy things that have happened there. I would love to do pre-merger videos. It's just a matter of finding the footage. That's really all it comes down to. But I really, really love finding wacky stories from the old days. If I could find the footage, the stuff from the old days, I love that. Really random, but I love Don Rosillo, the Padres play guy. He's great. He was great in Boston, too. Worst national anthem belongs to Roseanne Barr at the Padres game. That's up there. That's up there with one of the worst. That probably is the worst. There's some bad ones, though. I mean, Carl Lewis was hysterically bad. Fergie seducing the anthem was a classic. Christina Aguilera at 45 was terrible. Kind of killed her career, too. Who were NFL players that had Hall of Fame written all over them, but their career was cut short? Sterling Sharp. Sterling Sharp is a great example of a player who really should be in the Hall of Fame. He would be first ballot if it wasn't for his injuries. He was on pace. Sterling Sharp. Sean Taylor obviously was on pace. I'm trying to think who else. Like Kurt Warner, the running back, had a shot, but if he could just stay healthy, he had a shot, I feel like. He needs to do a lot more, but he was on pace and then he got hurt and it was never the same. And who knows how good for the Bengals. Who knows how good Virgil Carter could have been. Or not Virgil Carter. I don't know what. He was the guy that replaced Greg Cook. Virgil Carter was the guy that came after. Yeah, Greg Cook. Who knows how good he could have been if he didn't get hurt. Another run going absolutely nowhere for the Brahmas. That time, Patrick, who gets stuffed. Sean Alexander, that's a great one. That's a great one, too. A Vegas lounge singer botched the Canadian national anthem for a CFL game in the 90s. Oh, jeez. I don't know if it's too well known or not, but I might do on the baseball channel the Canadian national anthem at a World Series game where the flag was upside down. Where they put the Canadian flag upside down. I don't know if that's too well known or not for the channel. Equally passed there, tried to get him in the flat. Equally passed. John Hillman was the intended target. Like, that might be a bit too well known. I don't know. Because I don't want to do videos on topics that are well known. Like the Rule Mondesi video, not well known. The Marlins home run video against the Rockies in '93, not well known. The '89 World Series video coming out, promise you it's not well known. You do not know about this controversy. The Pirates controversy that's coming out in the next 24 hours, not well known. The Canadian flag controversy, I don't know if that's too well known or not. And I don't want to, but I'm not sure if there's any videos on it. All right, Cone going deep on 3rd and 12, and he misses his guy. So we had opening drive touchdowns, but ever since, no one really able to do anything. So Cone tries a deep shot to complete. That was a real story. How is OJ still in? They don't take guys out of the Hall of Fame. Plus, it sets a very dangerous precedent if you can remove guys from the Hall. Especially because he was technically found not guilty. So it's a dangerous precedent. I'm not saying one way or the other, but it sets a bad precedent if you can remove guys from the Hall. Because where do you draw the line? I mean, they still show photos at the. I was at the Hall of Fame game, and they show photos of like every ceremony, and they showed O.J. Simpson and his ceremony. So they're not taking him out of the Hall of Fame. Because you could make the argument in a bunch of other sports, like Ty Cobb. Like, you could make the same argument OJ would tie. Like, why is Ty Cobb still in the Hall of Fame? It gets very, very dicey, very, very slippery slope. Once you're in, and then whatever happens then happens. But once you're in. Andrew Luck, I'm not sure he was on pace. He was Hall of very good. Greg Cook, yeah. Yeah, Bill Walsh said he was better than one time. I mean, he looked amazing. He looked absolutely amazing. He could have been a star. The Bengals probably make an AFC championship, or they might win a Super Bowl, honestly, if Cook didn't get hurt. Honestly, you put him on that 1970 team instead of Virgil Carter, who knows? It's not like there was any dominant force in the AFC that year. Who knows? Burt Jones, yeah. Super League idea, I think it's terrible. I think it's absolutely terrible. Destroys the fabric of the sport. I hate the Super League idea. Yeah, Herschel Walker's not getting in the Hall of Fame. Not anymore, at least. He might have had a shot as a senior committee guy. Might have had a shot if you look at the USFL stats, but he's not getting in. 40-plus MLS teams is the only way San Antonio is getting a team. I thought for a hot second they were going to be an option for a team when the Scorpions are doing well and they got their own stadium, but you're going to get San Diego at some point, you're going to get Vegas, you're going to get Phoenix, you're going to get, and that's the illegal formation on the Guardians, so back about 5 yards. Louisville's probably coming down the road at some point if they go to 40. Tampa might come, Pittsburgh might come. Yeah, I don't see. Albuquerque might come. I don't see how San Antonio now is getting a team anytime soon. Short little pass there. Caught by Javonte Payton. I believe that's his first catch of the season. 3rd and still pretty long. Looking forward to aggressive congressional hearings on the sad state Major League Baseball on TV when Bally and AT&T go under. Yeah, I would love to be I would love to pick Bud Selig's brain about that right now. I would love to do that. Because we had a bunch of talks on TV and blackouts. We had a bunch of talks. Lynch trying to take off. He's got it. Lynch is not known for being the fastest QB, but puts his head down, gets the first. There was a flag on the play. It came in the secondary, but it came on the run. So this might be coming back for holding downfield or an eligible man downfield. We'll see what happens, but looks like they are walking back. Heck of an effort by Lynch nonetheless. But we'll see if this stands. If it stands, it's a 12-yard run. It's a first down for the Guardians. Their first down since their touchdown drive. Oh, illegal hands to the face? But offsetting penalties. So redo the down. Cricket is like the second or third most popular sport. Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I've thought about, if I ever expand the channel, I've thought about, there is no real Indian Premier League or Indian Super League channel out there. I've definitely thought about tapping into the Indian market, the 1 billion people there, and doing something like that. Learning the sport, studying it up, and doing something like that. I've thought about it. If I were to ever do it, I've absolutely thought about it. Because that is an untapped market. Yeah, the RPM isn't great, but the audience you could get. Like, you look at the top YouTubers, since that's a false start on the Guardians, back by 5 yards. Look at the top YouTubers in terms of subs. A lot of them are from India. The first person to make a really good channel on historical events, especially nowadays where they just added that you can dub in any language. That there'll automatically be dubs in any language. They just added that feature. The first person to make a really good channel on the Indian Super League is gonna do really well. I still need to study the game and learn more about it, history-wise, before I could even think about that. And getting the research and finding the news articles, because that's the toughest part, is doing the research for that, and then getting the footage and everything. But the first person to do it, I'm telling you, that is an untapped market. People ask, okay, like one of the things you have to do on YouTube is find a market that no one else has. That's one of the ways to make it big. Like, I made it big doing daily NFL history videos. No one else was doing that. Punt is fielded at the 29-yard line. Break with tackle at the 34, but down at the 34-yard line, which is where the Brahmas take over. You want an untapped market? The RPM is not going to be good, but your sub count and your view count will make up for it. There's a dearth of cricket stuff on YouTube compared to football. Like, there's a highlight video of a match between India and Pakistan from 6 months ago. 16 million views. Sharma hits 140, India against Pakistan in 2019 at the Cricket World Cup. 100 million views. Match between Australia and India from 2 years ago. 69 million views. There is something there. I'm telling you, there is something. The first person to do a really good Indian cricket channel, because I can't find one. I cannot find one. I see people that post highlights and whatnot, but I cannot find one that. I cannot find one. The first one to do it, congratulations, you just made bank. Oh, they clamped down on people using their footage. I've had my struggles. Oh. That explains a lot. That explains a lot. If you could find a way to get around it, though. Like, I'm going to cool on the expansion for a bit. The next step in JG9 is to get JG8 and JG7 videos out every other day and every day eventually. So we have 3 videos coming out every single day. That's the next step before we even think about doing a 4th channel. But if I was to do a 4th channel, people ask, honestly, I would think about doing cricket. I would honestly think about doing Indian cricket. So do a vid featuring Ian Smith's famous quote from the Cricket World Cup 2019 final, and Sky told me off. Ooh. Usually you can get around it if you use under 9 seconds. There's ways to get around. Like, there's a reason that a lot of my NFL videos. I mean, sometimes the NFL then finds out and I just dispute the claim, which is no problem. I never had a problem with that. But there's a reason that a lot of videos nowadays, I don't have to do that crazy filter for. Like, you know how back in the day when I did videos on current NFL games, I had to zoom all the way in. I had to use that really off-white filter, use a tint and whatnot, and it just didn't look appealing. But it was the only way to do it. Yeah, I figured out ways around it. So, yeah, Aussies also love good cricket content. So, a good cricket channel could really do it. Really could do it. If it weren't for the NBA calling the cops on folks who share historic footage of the NBA, yeah, that's one of the reasons I haven't done a basketball channel. It's tough to find footage, and copyright is apparently very brutal with the NBA. Greatest what-if player in NFL history, tied between Sean Taylor and Andrew Luck. Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor is better what-if than Andrew Luck, because we saw a lot of Andrew Luck. Taylor was just getting started in his prime. That's a nice hit there. Intended receiver on the play was Fred Brown, but a nice hit there by Matt Elam, the former first-round pick, the former Ravens safety for a Florida man. 2nd and 10. Like, Luck, we had a pretty good idea of what he was. Sean Taylor, he was just starting to peak. Greatest what if? I mean, I got to go Bo Jackson. If he could have stayed healthy, that's another one. Who was on track for Hall of Fame career? Honestly, Bo Jackson could have been. Do I believe in aliens? Yes, I do. And here's why. As Cone drops back, can he avoid the sack? He cannot. Tried to get out of it, but sack on the play there by the safety, Mike Lee. This is now becoming a defensive battle. Loses about 6 on the play. So we know how big the universe is. It's gigantic. We actually don't know how big the universe is because it's that gigantic. I refuse to believe that we're the only people in the entire universe where there's oxygen and where we're living. I refuse to believe that in this vast universe of ours where, I mean, you've seen photos where it's like you see each dot, that's a galaxy. And we are in that galaxy. Like, we're not even a speck. You've seen photos from Hubble. There's no way that we're the only ones. There's no way that we're the only ones. To think otherwise would just be like I don't think that we are the only ones. Now, do I think they exist in the way of like how we perceive them as like the green figures with 3 eyes and antennas coming out of their heads? No, but I feel like they exist in some form. First and 10 at the 23-yard line. Orlando will take over there. Welcome to everyone's start. 581C watching this stream 20 years from now. You never heard the Canadian flag being upside down during the World Series. All right, let me see if I can link a. Let me see if I can link the. Promise, I just don't know if it's that well known. All right, DeAndre Francois is coming into the game. We don't know if Paxton Lynch has been benched. All right, no one's done a video on it, but it was a pretty notable controversy. All right, Francois drops back to the 24-yard line. Gets out of the sack. He's going to run. Going to use his feet. He'll pick up a few yards on the play. Picks up about 3 yards, so 2nd down at the 27-yard line. See if I can link the story. Yeah, this is the upside down flag story. Crowder's decent. I mean, I'm not even sure if it's decent for this weather. Like, I'm not sure if it's decent. Gain of 5 on the run. It is Martin. Had that 3rd and 26 earlier. Because the lower bowl is not even all the way full. They didn't sell half of it. So it's 90% full of the side that they sold. So I'm not sure what the attendance is going to be. Go back to the ground game. This time it's Kelvin Taylor, and he picks up 2 yards, gets the 1st down. Walker was only really legit great for about 2 years for the Cowboys, maybe one with the Eagles. Yeah, it's really just how do you count USFL. It's really how do you count the USFL stats in there. Ken Anderson should be in. Yes, absolutely. Harold Jackson. I'm not sure about Jackson. Jackson might be Hall of Very good. There's a logjam at wide receiver. Henry Ellard should be in. Howden should be in. Sharp should be in. I'm not sure Harold Jackson. I don't know if I can make a great argument for Jackson. Very good receiver, though. Very good receiver. But I would put a lot of... I say he didn't get any yards on that one. Oh. I put a lot of receivers in before I put Jackson. Henry Ellard, Sterling Sharp, Billy Howden. And that's just guys that are eligible for the seniors committee. That's not counting... Not counting guys who are eligible right now but waited a long time like Torrey Holt. Yeah, he did get yards. 2nd and 8. That's what I thought. Francois. Bit of a low throw, but is able to be caught by Kelvin. Gain of 1. We'll see if this stands, though. There is a flag on the play. So I have no audio. So did they bench Lynch, or are they just trying something different? They're going to put him back in? They're interviewing him right now. I don't have any audio, so I don't know if they benched him or if they're just trying something for this drive. Yeah, Lynch is playing better than last week for sure. Not that it would be hard. All right, so whatever the penalty was, it is on the Brahmas. So 1st and 10, ball is at the 42-yard line. If you need writers on cricket or rugby, give me a shout out. Absolutely. Again, if I ever expand, I will need all the help I can get. I can't do this by myself. In an effort to increase attendance to the spring league air multiple games at the same time to switch. Yes, I've said that for a while now. I've said that for a while. The thing with alternate football is that people don't want to devote 12 hours in a weekend to it. But you can devote 3. You can have 3 games taking place at the same time and then have a national game. You can have a 1 o'clock game and a national 4 o'clock game. That's illegal motion. He moved. Receiver moved on the line. We went back 5. Receiver lost his balance. I've said that for a while now. Cody Latimer was actually down with tight end. Because how many people are really going to watch all the XFL games? Even the NFL. Like, if all the games took place at different times, no one would watch all of them. Hand off to Martin. Gets a lot of that back. All right, that would be on Come On Man. Or no, Kelvin Taylor, 3rd and 4. Kelvin makes the first down motion. He's 4 yards short. I don't know what he was doing there. That was not a first down. It was not even close to a first down. I don't know what Kelvin Taylor is doing there. If XFL had a version of Come On Man, that would be on there. That might be the worst first down signal I've seen, because that wasn't even close. But anyway, 3rd and 4, Francois. Faces pressure, throws a backwards pass to Taylor, and that goes nowhere. He loses 3 yards, maybe 4 yards on that play. And they'll be forced to punt it away. Again, both teams have all 3 timeouts left. You get 1 challenge per game. Still have those. The dawn of the JG Empire. How long are cricket matches? Over a few days? Yes, some of them are. Yeah, the ones that I'm not crazy about are over a few days. T20 takes the length of a baseball game. T20 is a lot of fun. If you're going to get into cricket, do T20. Don't do test matches. 15, 20, and down at the 22-yard line. Return on the play there. But I believe that's Robinson on the return. So that's where the Brahmas take over. And both teams start with opening drive, touchdowns, and ever since then, nothing. Year 9, the rebuild, the Lions are going nowhere fast. I wouldn't say that. Look, they were the hottest team in football at the end of the season. They finished 9-8. Dan Campbell's got them going in the right direction. They're probably the favorites, depending on what happens with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. They're probably the favorites to win the division. They got capital to work with. Lions are going to be a good team. There's a reason even WWE even tried at one point in time to the indie market. Yeah. Top subscribed YouTubers. You can see their channel of origin. Number 1 is T-Series. They're based in India. Number 3 is Sony Entertainment Television India. Number 10 is Z Music Company based in India. 12 is Gold Mines. They're based in India. Like all these channels you probably never heard of. Number 14 is Sony SAB. They're based in India. Number 19 is ZTV. They're based in India. Number 21 is Shimaru Entertainment, India. 22, Choo Choo TV, India. 23, Colors TV, India. 26, another T-Series channel. They're India. 2017, Tips Industries, India. 29, Wave Music, India. Number 30, Sony Music, India. They're India. Number 31, Ajtak. That's India. So you look at the top channels. Of the top 31 subscribed YouTube channels, and we're talking millions upon millions of subscribers. Like T-Series has 237 million subs. Sony Entertainment TV India has 152. You have, of the top 30, 12 of them, top 31, 12 of them are based in India. For some perspective, 7 are based in the US. I'm telling you, the first person to do it and do it well is going to make bank. I'm telling you. 12 of the top 31 sub YouTube channels are Indian. Yeah, IPL is 2020. Yes, IPL is 2020. There's something there. And if I was going to expand again, I would study up, I would study my butt off, and I would try to find some good research sources and make that work. There is something there. Yeah, NBA has really clamped down on the content. MLS and Premier League is strict. I don't know about MLS. I don't know MLS. The Premier League has been very strict. Aloha Stadium used to do baseball, yeah. Why have Indian channels been growing rapidly in the past 5 years? That's a good question. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, population-wise, I mean, they're massive. India's the second largest country? Is either them or China? I forget who's number 1. Ballage, nothing doing. I don't think he's got positive yardage. They can't get anything. Yeah, Ballage has -7 rushing yards today. Obviously, that one's not on him as that's a loss of 5, but they got to figure something out. Paxton Lynch has been benched in 4 different pro football leagues. You got to give Luck credit. Not many people with his skill set or earning potential would shut it down like that. He has more money than he could ever spend and wants a decent quality of life. Yeah. Look, he played well, did what he had to do in life, and... what a catch! Got tipped, and it's a first down. Oh my goodness, what a catch. One-handed grab by Elise Mack. What concentration. Then to break the tackle, it's a massive gain. Tipped on the play by Matt Elam, and then a one-handed grab by Elise Mack. Breaks the tackle on the sideline and goes down to the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of about 30 on the play. That's a quick little dump off. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6. What's the closest to Alen Byers or Hank Gathers, who most people had projected for stardom, but die before ever playing pro? I can answer that one. Absolutely. The name is slipping me. Why is the name slipping me? He was going to be the first overall pick in 1977. The name is slipping me. Oh my goodness. I'm having a brain fart. He was going to be the first overall pick in 1977. Oh my. Why is the name slipping me? All right, a $5 from Scorpion Taz. Thank you so much. Do you think there's one position that creates more journeyman players in the NFL over any other? I think offensive line. Honestly, I think offensive line. There are a lot of offensive linemen that last a decade in this league that aren't very good. They just bounce around from team to team. Like Cameron Bradfield had a pretty long career somehow. I'm just seeing like former Jaguars. Like Tyler Shatley has been around forever. I can't remember. Like he doesn't start, but he's been on the team since 2014, and he does not start. He has never really started unless there's an injury, and he's been on there for a decade. No, not Ernie Davis. I'm not thinking of Ernie Davis. Not Floyd Little. No, Floyd Little played. Floyd Little was a Hall of Famer. Not Ernie Davis. I'm thinking of someone else. Why am I blanking on the name? Oh my goodness. Why am I blanking on the name? This is going to kill me. I'm blanking on the name. He was going to be the top pick. Yep, Joe Roth. Joe Roth. Yep, that's the guy. Yep, Joe Roth. There it is. Thank you for that. Yes, Joe Roth. That's the player. Ricky Bell died young, but he played in the NFL. But he died young. He died in, I think, at 29. He died in 1984. Yeah, Joe Roth. Yep, that's the guy. I don't know why I was blanking on that name. But, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of. That's exactly the guy. The fans of the Sun said the shade. Yeah, I don't know who planned that. I mean, I guess you have to do it with the TV camera. You have to make it look good for TV. But you could easily just reverse where the orientation is. 2 minutes left. Clock rules are different. Remember that. Clock rules are different. 2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line. And remember, San Antonio got the ball to start the game. So they need some points here because Orlando gets the ball to start the second half. I went to the Aloha Stadium set off yesterday. It was fun and really good to see all the memorabilia. That's awesome. That's awesome. First down there, catch on the play made by Doris Robertson Jr. Yeah, my depth chart has him listed as number 15, but he's number 13, so that's why there was a bit of a delay there. My depth chart has him listed as a different number. It's not been updated, but they are in Guardian territory. Cohen going to the flat, and that is dropped on the play by Dion Yelder, a bit behind him. Would have been about a gain of 2 or 3. Would have gone out of bounds, though, too. Would stop the clock, so. Try something different from momentum. Oh, okay, that's why Lynch got benched. All right. Yes, I was going to say, I'm not a Paxton Lynch fan, but he was not playing terribly. I've been binge watching your baseball content. Solid stuff, man. Thank you so much, and there's more on the way. There's going to be way more on the way, trust me. I love doing the baseball stuff. So much fun talking about the vast history of this great game. So much fun. Well, if the Bengals hired Walsh instead of Johnson in 76, that's an under... Yeah. I think if that happens, Ken Anderson is absolutely a Hall of Famer. Because I think they won a Super Bowl. He should be in the Hall of Fame regardless. Don't get me wrong. He should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. The fact that he's not is a crime. The fact that Ken Riley, it took forever for him to get in until he died. Offside, so free play. So we have 2nd and 5. Jacoby Jones. Offside. Like, there are going to be so many Bengals that get in after they die, and it's going to be terrible. Lamar Parrish will get in at some point, but there's not even a case for him. They're going to make the case once he dies, which stinks. Ken Anderson, I think it's going to be the same way. Unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. Gary Jeter was drafted fifth by the Giants in 77. He's got a weird story from 1982 as well that I want to do a video on at some point. I really want to do a video on at some point. It's just a matter of finding the footage and having the time to do that. Incomplete pass down the sideline. Intended target on the play. It was Robinson again. They've been going to him a lot lately. 3rd and 5. It is a very interesting story from the 82 season regarding the When he came back, his weight wasn't good and dropped out of favor by the team. Some interesting stuff there. Some interesting stuff. I'm considering rewatching every episode of Your Name Sports World to see the growth, and he's been doing it for 6 seasons. Yeah, that's crazy. He's been doing it for 6 years. It doesn't feel that way. Oh, they did not score a touchdown. That is a graphical error. The graphics team is asleep at the wheel right now on ESPN. Not a touchdown. It's a timeout. It's a timeout. Has Trey really been doing sports ball for 6 seasons? I know I've been watching him since 2016, but I don't think he's done sports ball every year. Has he really been doing it for that long? Wow. Don Coryell had to wait. Yeah, Don Coryell. A lot of Raiders too. Cliff Branch, Ken Stabler. They should have gone to see when they got inducted. They should have been alive to see it. Shouldn't have taken that long. The 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday was a killer promote your sport week too. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. The TV ratings were good. It was like the 8th most watched show on cable that week or that night. It was the most watched show on FX for the whole week. Is it good enough? I don't know, but people watch it. Seattle Sea Dragons demonstrated from Thursday. Why did Hazlitt go for 3? It cost him the game. Yeah, that's a good question. Personal foul on the Guardians. Is this roughing the passer? Oh, that is a dumb penalty, too. There was no need for that. He was just throwing it away. Obviously, it's the right call. Don't get me wrong, but that is a dumb penalty. It is Kavion Patton who commits a really stupid penalty. He was throwing it away. There was no need. He won the rep. And now they have 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. They are close to field goal range, too. For John Parker Romo, who's got quite the leg. He's got quite the leg. I think he hit for 47 last week. Probably the best kicker in the XFL right now. Cone fires. Did he get the first down? I think the ref is going to mark him right at the sticks. Robinson with another grab on this drive. I believe that's his 3rd catch of this drive. Move the sticks. It's a first down for the Brahmas. What do you think about the XFL and USFL merger in the coming years? As many people hinted about it. Look, they play at different times, so I don't know if it's going to happen. USFL plays spring and summer. That should have been picked off. Matt Elam having quite the game, and that should have been an interception. Should have been a pick 6 the other way. I don't think it's going to happen. Intended target on play was Fred Brown, and Elam almost with a pick 6. XFL is filling sports program hours on TV. Yeah. If you want a sport that I think is getting some surprisingly good attention where I am, Major League Rugby and the Houston SaberCats. Ooh. I'm not crazy about rugby 15s, but rugby 7s, I love watching rugby 7s. 15s I'm not crazy about. On which XFL team Chase Claypool will be dropping passes for in 2024? I think he's going to stay in the NFL because they gave up a 1st-round pick to get him, but or 2nd-round pick, but really a 1st-round pick because it's pick number 32. Does The Rock own the Brahmas by chance? I don't think so. I don't think he owns any of the teams. All right, while they show the schedule for next week. So here's the plan for next week with the XFL streams. I'm going on a cruise next week. I cannot stream the XFL games on my cruise. Partly because I don't know if I even get the games, partly because I'll be doing other things. The cone drops back, and that is caught. We'll get to that at halftime. That is a caught pass by Elise Mack. Return of the Mack touchdown. Brahmas, they strike with 1:01 left. And we'll see what they do here. Jack Cohn, his second touchdown pass of the day. Hit Yelder earlier, hit Mack on this one. Spread the love to the tight ends. They are going for one. They're going for one from the 2-yard line. Try to make it a 13-6 game again. Remember, the Guardians get the ball to start the second half, but they will have a chance. They get 3 timeouts. They have a chance to move down the field, so we'll see what happens here with the Brahmas. They've abandoned the run game. They're going one-on-one, fade route, and it is a phenomenal grab. One-on-one, caught by T.J. Vasher. T.J. Vasher with an amazing Calvin Johnson-like grab. And I don't say that lightly. You thought they were going to go one-on-one earlier in the game on the 2-point conversion, on the conversion rather, going to Tolliver, but this time they tried that same play on the reverse side of the field to Vasher, and it works out. Vasher using his height, using his body, getting over number 20, Bailey Buchanan, making the grab. 13-6. What a grab. Due to the new Apple deal, MLS's official YouTube channel will not be showing highlights. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like that's a massive mistake on MLS's part. Unless Apple's uploading the highlights. As long as someone's uploading the highlights. Otherwise, that's a massive mistake. But I really like the presentation by MLS. I watched a lot of the games yesterday. I got a chance to see the end of Austin St. Louis. Got a chance to see Vancouver's collapse, their 60-second collapse against Salt Lake. Presentation is really good. The quality is crystal clear. You can tell they take the league seriously. Scorebook, it's simple, it's minimalistic. I think you need team logos in there, but it gets the job done. It's not too busy. I'm a sub to all your channels, and I can literally just put my settings on play. It doesn't even matter if I've already watched or listened to the video before and never consult. Cheers. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I have like 10 days worth of content across all my channels in terms of continuous days. 2 broken tackles. Can he get out of bounds? He gets out of bounds, preserves the timeout. Nice effort there by the tight end, Cody Latmer, the former second-round pick out of Indiana by the Broncos. Preserves the timeout, which is big. Yeah, I don't know how many specific days I have, but I know the History of the NFL channel, History of the NFL playlist has, which is all the history videos I've ever done, so none of the highlight videos. All the history videos, I think it's at 920 videos in there, which if each vid's averaging 15 minutes, you can do the math on how much that is. They're running the ball 1st and 10. Not sure I agree with that call. They do say that he got the first down on the last one. They're not calling. Wait, what are they doing? They're not calling timeout? Wait, what the heck are they? Wait a second. What are they doing? So you call a run and then you're not calling timeout. You have 3. And the clock stops on first downs and on the sideline. You just wasted 20 seconds. You called a run play on first down at midfield with 3 timeouts, and then you don't call a timeout. What am I missing? Unless they thought, the only thing I could think of is they thought that he didn't get the first down, so they were running to try to get the first down. But what am I missing? What on earth am I missing with that clock management? All right, 3rd and 7, Lynch drops back, he scrambles. Can he use his feet? He will pick up the first down. 58 slides to 46. Now you call timeout. But again, the clock stops on incomplete passes. The clock stops when you go out of bounds. So I don't know if you're even going to be able to use all your timeouts. You might go into this half with a timeout in your back pocket because of that really, really bad clock management decision to not call a timeout after the run on first down when you picked up 3. The only excuse I can think of is we don't think that Latmer got the first down. He got 9 yards on the play, it looked like. They eventually ruled it 10. Maybe he got 9. The Guardians thought he got 9, so they're going to run, pick the first down. They'll worry about that later. But even still, even if that's what the play call was, and you didn't want to change it, You gotta call a timeout there once you get it. Oh my goodness. Terrell Buckley, what are you doing? Or if they do have 2 timeouts. They do have 2 timeouts, so maybe this won't backfire the way that I think it will. Maybe this won't backfire. Let's see. 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line of the Brahmas. Lynch drops back, and it is caught. Back shoulder throw. It is caught. That was a weird throwing motion by Lynch. He held that out there almost like Blake Bortles, like Egyptian style, where if there was a defender there, that's an easy strip sack. He held that ball out in that windup. But the catch on the play by Javonte Payton, gain of about 11, 1st and 10. They used their 2nd timeout. All right, so maybe this won't backfire tremendously, but that's only if they complete this pass. If they don't complete this pass, you're going into the half of the timeout in your back pocket. If you don't complete this pass, you have a timeout in your back pocket. If you complete this pass, then forget everything I said. They somehow salvage this. But if they don't complete this pass, you're going in with a timeout in your back pocket. Right now, it's a 53-yard field goal attempt. The weather is great, but again, we know special teams play in the XFL is not great. Do you call a draw play to try and maybe get 5 yards here? We'll see. Lynch, they do call a draw. Wow, I was all over that. But then again, so were the Brahmas. 3rd and final timeout used, 2nd and 12. Did I just predict the play? Did I? I think I just predicted the play. Now, the goal was to get 5 yards. They lost 2. 55-yard field goal. They are going to try it. If it is made by Jose Borregales, this will be the longest field goal made in the XFL this season, and I'm not sure it will be topped. He won't slip. I can promise you that much. We saw both kickers in yesterday's game in Vegas slip on the field. 56-yard field goal attempt to get some points for Orlando going into the halftime break. Okay, if I'm the Brahmas, I have someone back there. I have someone back there to return this just in case. This is a long field goal. Borregales, it is straight enough. Is it long enough? It is no good. It is no good. It was straight enough, but it was not long enough. 56 yards. Again, I would have had someone back there because that's a long field goal. Can't really blame him, though. 56 yards, I mean, that was hit very well, just didn't have the leg. That was straight. So that is a halftime break. All right, so let's talk about what's happening next week. I was getting to this, and then the Brahmas score a touchdown and kind of derail my plans. So here's the plan. Next week. Oh, there's 1 second left. All right. Really? There's 1 second left? 45-yard line? Okay. They'll just take a knee. I think. They look like they're just going to take a knee. I'm not even going to bother with just the score graphic. There it is. Yeah, I guess my only thing is that if you're trying to field goal, I guess in that situation, call the timeout. Call the timeout with 3 seconds left. Unless the Brahmas were the one that called the timeout. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, 13-6 of the half. Let's talk about next week. Who gets the ball after the half? Guardians. Let's talk about next week. So I'm going on a cruise next week. I'm going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. I am really, really looking forward to it. Going with some of my buddies from college. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be I don't really want to say a vacation, but it's going to be the first time I've had off since May of last year when I took that week off. Now, I want to bank videos. Don't get me wrong. I should be able to bank videos, at least some videos, where we can still get content out on all 3 channels. It might be a situation where I bank them and there's videos every other day, but I want to get videos out during that week, so it will be as though I was not on vacation. Having said that, obviously I cannot do live stuff when I am on this cruise. Even if I wanted to, the Wi-Fi would be terrible. Plus, I don't know if I get XFL games whatsoever, nor do I know what the situation is going to be. So, here's what's going to happen. Saturday, I might stream. That is up in the air. I'm going to be in my hotel. I might do a stream for that game on Saturday night. I might do a stream for that. That is tentative. That is up in the air. I want to do a stream. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sunday, there will be no streams. The triple header, I can't do it. I would love to do it. I can't do it. So I will hopefully have a stream Saturday. The week 4 games, I will not be around for... Let me just double check the schedule. Yeah, I will not be around for any of the week 4 games, unfortunately. I'll be still on my cruise for the Saturday games, and I'll be flying back on Sunday. So week 4, I won't be doing any of the games, unfortunately. Week 5, we're back to normal. Week 5, I don't think I can do the Thursday game, the March 16th game. Although I might be able to. I might be able to do Thursday, March 16th. I might be able to do that. We'll see what happens. That's also March Madness. Not the best. They're going to go up against Sea Dragons. Roughneck is going to go up against March Madness on FX. Ooh, that's not going to be pretty. That will not be pretty. But we will be doing the other games that week. So, worst case scenario, the next XFL stream is March 18th. That's the worst case scenario. But again, we will not have a stream for week 4. You will not have a stream for week 3. We might have the Seattle-Vegas stream. We might have that for Saturday. But there will not be any XFL streams on Sunday. Which I hate, but if I knew I was doing this, I wouldn't go on the cruise. I would have been doing I think like the worst time to go on vacation, just launching the 3rd channel and with the XFL stuff. I would have done this like during USFL season or something, but we will make it work. We will make it work. Because obviously I can't go on vacation during NFL season, nor would I ever even want to, because I have to watch my Jaguars. I have to watch every game, so I was like, okay, we're going to do a vacation. We're going to do it right after NFL season when I probably am exhausted. But it's like I have a second win now. So we're doing that. We are doing that. March Madness XFL combo stream. We might, honestly, I've got the monitors to do it. We might. Can the NFL find popularity in the Indian market like how they have with Europe? Probably not. Time zone difference is a lot. The infrastructure needed to play the game. Like, I don't know where you're finding the space in India to do it. I don't know where you're finding the money to do it in India. I don't know where you're doing it. I don't think it would happen. I think Zach Marr is a first ballot Hall of Famer when he hangs it up. Are there any current offensive linemen you think will also be? First ballot is tough for an offensive lineman. Usually you take a few years to get in, unless you're a special player. That's tough. Anyone that I can say for sure is first ballot Hall of Fame? I mean, there are guys that will get in, like Jason Peters will get in. I don't know about first ballot. Jason Kelsey will get in. I don't know about first ballot. Are there any first ballot offensive linemen? Unless I'm blanking on someone, I don't think so. Unless I'm blanking, I don't think there's any first ballot offensive linemen right now. Now, there are guys that could be on pace, but like right now, if their career's ended right now, I don't think there's anyone. Yeah, Jason Kelsey will be in the Hall of Fame. I think the Eagles would like you in the XFL. Thank you for the stream. You're welcome. This has been a lot of fun. The name Guardians is just one reason this league will flop again. Yeah, it has no ties to Orlando. I don't know why they kept over the name from New York. There's no reason. It's not the same team. It's not like they moved. Why are they keeping the same logo? The Guardians has no ties to Orlando. Yeah, I'm cruising with Royal Caribbean. Kick after a touchdown also worth a point. You can't kick in the XFL. MLS Season Pass has 7-minute highlight packages. The only minus effect they're not using sideline reporters. Yeah, but you still have to access it. Part of like what makes these leagues popular, part of it is the YouTube algorithm. Get on the front page, get on trending, get people to watch it that way. Imagine picking an NFL coach to mimic Mike McCarthy. I cannot speak right now. All right. Back after another computer crash. Stinks about your computer. Glad that you are back. And depending on what time this game ends, I think what we're going to do is do 2 separate streams. So if you noticed on my channel, I uploaded 2 separate streams. I think I have to do that for YouTube reasons. So once this game is done, I will end this stream and immediately start the next one. I will immediately start. So here's the screen I have for that one. You can see it. That's going to come at the conclusion. So once this is done, I'm going to end this stream. And that's not going to be for another hour or so. That's not going to be until this game is over. But once it's done, I'll do that. But don't go anywhere because 5 seconds later, I'll be back on with another stream specifically for the Arlington-Houston game. So just keep that in mind. Now, we're going to do continuous coverage, but I have to exit this stream once this game is done to then load up the second stream, which will take no time at all. Just something I have to do. Where can you watch the game? ESPN. And the next one's on ESPN 2. Keep that in mind. The next one's on ESPN 2. I'm actually enjoying the XFL. I think they're really going to make it work this time. I mean, they were very good in 2020 before COVID hit. I think it could have worked. March 18th is your birthday. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. You know, cruise is going to be fun. Cruise is going to be fun. Take some time off. We don't want you to burn out. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I haven't really experienced burnout. I've not really experienced... I mean, I've experienced days where I'm more tired than normal, but... Look, I love doing this. I love doing this. I gotta talk sports for a living from my apartment. Like, this is the dream. Like, this is... There's no burnout. There's no burnout. Some people don't even get an opportunity to take days off. They don't get a chance to... They have to provide, they have to support their families, and they have to work long hours in jobs that they hate, but they have to do. I get to talk football and sports for a living. I don't get burned out. But it will be nice to recharge for it, but I love doing this. I love doing this. If Dora was coaching the XFL, would her team win any games? Can't be much worse than Robertson. No, they win no games. Way too early for Tunzel. Way too early for Tunzel. I'm not even sure he's on pace. Honestly, I don't even know if he's on pace. Way too early. India is huge in cricket, and their biggest stadiums to build for cricket. They were struggling mightily in association football. Yeah, but difficult to host NFL games there. Yeah. I don't think they've ever made a World Cup in soccer. They've never made it. Like, they're not big in soccer. So, that would come before football. Should the team be called the Orlando Palm Trees? I mean, that would be a bad name, but we suggested the Orcas. Someone suggested the Orcas on here a while ago. I'm like, that's a great name. The Orlando Orcas. You have the connection with SeaWorld. You have all that. The alliteration. The AAF team they copyrighted, they could have brought back the Apollos. Yeah, they're copyrighted. That's why the San Antonio team is not what they were in the AAF. They're the Brahmas. Because no one's using the AAF assets. If you were an XFL coach, you'd be crying about bad call here. Like, yeah, he'd be crying like immediately. And again, I cannot show the game on my screen. That is a violation of copyright law. So we're live streaming this game this way. I legally cannot show the game on my stream. You're an absolute gem of a creator, and I'm glad to be a part of this. Can I call it a community? Absolutely, you can call it a community. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Our kickoff fielded at the 17-yard line. and take it out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Guardians at the 33. SeaWorld's in San Diego. It's also in Orlando. That's in Texas, I believe. I've never been to the Orlando one. I've been to the San Diego one. Watching Live Golf in between halftime. Your thoughts on the CW broadcast? I have not watched a second of Live Golf. I have not watched a second of it. They qualified in the 50s and they pulled out because the players didn't wear shoes. I did not know that story. All right, Lynch's back in the game. Quick little screen pass. Gain of about 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Wait, there was a SeaWorld in Cleveland? I know there's not right now. There is no way there was a SeaWorld in Cleveland. There's no way. You can't even do that year-round. You have to close in the winter. There's no way. I'm looking that up right now. There's no way. Oh my goodness, there was a SeaWorld in Cleveland. How is that real? Who thought that was a good idea? You can't even open it year-round because it's a close in the winter. Wait, I'm looking it up right now. SeaWorld Cleveland. That is real. An equally passed there, so 3 and out for the Guardians to start off. All right, I'm reading up on the wiki right now. And of course there was an incident that happened when 22 people got injured after a failure during the Baywatch ski show. Of course they had a Baywatch show. Of course they did. Six Flags New Orleans, I knew about that. Yeah, I knew about Six Flags New Orleans. There's some good videos on that. And that is just haunted ever since Katrina. But how the... I get a kick out of my subscription fee on my phone when you post videos on JG7 and JG Up and post about it on JG9, doubles up the entries. Yeah, I like having that synergy between the brands. I love having the synergy. You know, I went to see... The only time I went to see was 2010 back in San Diego, and that was because we did a road trip in California. I've never been to the one in Orlando. That's a run. It's a positive run. Would you look at that? It's only a yard, but it's a positive run for Caitlin Ballage, who is really, really struggling right now. The whole run game's struggling. They have -6 rushing yards. Ballage averaging -1 yard per carry. The Orlando Oranges or the Orlando Juice. The OJ. And that'll get down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 6 on the curl route there over the middle. I mean, anything's better than Guardians. Anything is better than the Guardians team. Plus, if you Google Guardians, that won't come up. It'll be the Cleveland Guardians. It'll be Guardians of the Galaxy. So you lose that. 3rd and 3. And that is movement by the Guardians. Movement by the Guardians. No one on that line moved on the Brahmas. That is neutral zone. Is a costly 3rd down penalty. Trayvon Sanders, another 3rd down mistake by the Guardians to move him up 5 yards, give him the 1st down. Ball at the 37-yard line for the Brahmas. Orlando Juice was actually the name of the team. Orlando Juice was actually the name of the team. They were a senior professional baseball association team. Their logo is amazing. Their logo is amazing. It's literally... a Nickelodeon splat with a baseball. I'm not kidding. That's their logo. It's amazing. First down, slides, realizes where the sticks are, then comes to a screeching halt and slides down. Gain of 11 for Jack Cohn. They have the ball at the 48-yard line. Now, wanting to Funk Lance make a video about SeaWorld Cleveland. Yeah, I can't believe that existed. I'm shocked. SeaWorld in Cleveland, who thought that was a good idea? Orlando, you can use year-round. San Antonio, year-round. Ballage with a gain of 9. 2nd and 1. He's finally in the positive yardage. Like, you can use those year-round. San Diego, you can use year-round. Cleveland, you have to close midway through the year. Did they not do any studies on the climate? Second one, the Orlando 43. Should the Magic redraft Shaq and Penny? Oh, QB keeper! Beautiful play on the read option. And that picks up 14 yards. It is Jack Cohn for a first down. First time I've seen them call that play. Jack Cohn kept it. Would have been a loss of about 2 if he didn't keep it and handed it off to Ballage. A PG-13 movie that should have been rated R and vice versa. All right, R-rated movie that should have been PG-13 is 8th grade. 8th grade, absolutely. 8th grade should not have been rated R. 8th grade is a phenomenal movie. There is no way that movie should have been rated rated R. All right, gain of 5 on the play, 2nd and 5. Really, I don't know what was R about it. I really don't know what was R rated about. I think because you have multiple F-bombs in there, but that's middle school. That's middle school. They get multiple F-bombs in there, and that's why. But, again, that's middle school. They talk like they were in middle school. That should not have been rated R. And that's a great movie, by the way. If you've never seen 8th grade, there's one scene in there that, like, just terrifies me every single time. It's one of the scariest scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a really well-made movie about a girl who's finishing up 8th grade, like her last month of 8th grade. And trying to find herself. It's really, really good. Really, really good. Like, I felt secondhand cringe because of, they nail it so well. The dialogue, how people act, they nailed it so well. But that movie should not have been rated R. And if you've watched the movie, you know exactly what I mean. Back shoulder throw, it is caught! It's a touchdown, the third one of the game by Jack Cohn. It's Jalen Tolliver. Jalen Tolliver with the touchdown. 19-6, 2-possession game. Jalen Tolliver. Max got one. Yelder's got one. Tolliver's got one. Jack Cohn firing on all cylinders right now as the Brahmas take a 19-6 lead. And PG-13, that should have been R. Let me think about that one. When I was finishing up 8th grade, the world was locked up. Wait, so you were in high school? I didn't realize you were that young. That is awesome, man. Enjoy while you can. Enjoy while you can. Seriously, senior year of high school is amazing. Senior year of high school is amazing. All right, Cohn going for one. Wide open. Bit of a miss throw, but it is caught. And it is going to be Dion Yelder on the conversion, 20-6. Brahmas with a 14-point lead. And these guys washed up NFLers. I mean, Vic Beasley's in the league. My favorite movie rating thing is when South Park deliberately wrote their movie. I think the rule is that if you have 200 F-bombs in the movie, or 200 curses in the movie, I think it's F-bombs. You have 200 F-bombs in the movie, it has to be rated NC-17. And they made it so that there were 199, which was brilliant. That movie's amazing. That movie, I mean, I cannot say enough good things about the music in that movie, too. Matt Stone and Trey Parker are phenomenal, and they write phenomenal songs, too. That's the thing. The music is great in that. The music in Book of Mormon is amazing. Look, if you need a funny Broadway show to see, you never seen Book of Mormon, it is worth the hype. It is worth the price of admission. That is one of my all-time favorite Broadway shows. Saw that show multiple times growing up in New York. Laugh my butt off every single time. And the scene in the second act in particular. where I'm not going to spoil it, but they basically explain stuff to certain people, and it is amazing. So what do you think? So R-rated that should have been PG-13 is definitely 8th grade. PG-13 that should have been rated R. You know, the weird thing, PG that should have been PG-13, you could make the argument Incredibles 2 should have been PG-13. There's actually a lot of foul language in that movie compared to what you expect from a Pixar movie. No horror movie should be less than R, but I can somewhat understand Megan being PG-13 as they wanted the teen and tween audience, yeah. I think PG-13 that should have been R. Usually it doesn't work that way. Usually it works in reverse. Like, usually they go too high. Like, a lot of these Disney movies are PG. Why is it PG? Why are some of these Disney movies PG? Like, what part of it? Like Lion King is rated G. And a lion literally dies on screen in that movie. Spoilers. A lion literally dies on that screen. Live on screen. He dies. You see the dead body. That's rated G. That's rated G. And yet, Encanto is PG. How does that make any sense? The last G movie I can remember is the Peanuts movie. I guess PG to PG-13 should have been... I mean, Shrek, you could also make the argument. Yeah, Hunchback of Notre Dame. They literally sing a song about hell. They literally sing a song about hell in that movie. And it's G-rated. Somewhere along the way, we just decided everything's PG now. And it makes no sense. Like, some of these movies... Like, Finding Dory, I think, is PG. What about Finding... There's no villain. There's no action. There's nothing scary. What is possibly... Inside Out, how is that PG? There's no villain. There's no villain. How on earth is that PG? Yeah, Pinocchio is G-rated. Like, I guess I'm just wondering why all these movies are PG now. Like, seriously, the last time I can remember a G-rated movie was the Peanuts movie, which was a very good movie. Very, very good movie. All right, Lynch stepping up in the pocket. He's going to take off, and he misfires on the throw on the run. He had a guy wide open. We're going to gain him about 16, 17 yards. It was Javonte Payton who was the intended target. So it's second down. Frozen is the same rating as Jaws. I love that. Jaws should have been R. Jaws should have been R, honestly. I love that. All right, another $5 from Scorpion Taz. Thank you so much. Any odd or unusual stories about sponsorship companies of a league causing controversy within the league or the broadcasters? Off the top of my head, not that I can think of. And that is a really bad throw there, intended to Payton. 3rd and 10. Lynch is now starting to not play as well. This is the Paxton Lynch we all know. But any broadcasters, any sponsorships causing controversy? I mean, I guess Enron Field, I guess there's probably something there with Enron when all that went down and Enron was doing that. Mercedes-Benz had 2 sponsorships in the NFL. I wonder if that caused any problems with the Superdome and the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I don't know. Wait, Airplane's rated R. I don't know how that's an R-rated movie. Although I will say ratings were different back then. Like, they didn't have the PG-13. Because that's a sack. 4th and 15. I think it's DeAndre Francis o'clock. Paxton Lynch has not gotten it done since the first drive. He's missing open guys now. This is now painful. So I guess anything from before 1990s, anything before the PG-13 rating came out, I can't really say. Because it was G, PG, R, and X. Block punt! It's a block punt! Scoop and score? Maybe? No, it's muffed. It is muffed. Should have been a scoop and score on the play by Rico Jeffers, but they will take the block punt, and they will get good field position in the process. Yeah, so up until PG-13 became a thing, I can't really say that. That's a different era. I can't really say any of that. Really, it's some of the ratings now where it's like, how is this PG when we have much more violent movies that were G-rated 10 years ago? Yes, theoretically you could do that. OMG, this team sucks. I mean, it's the Guardians. What do you expect? I told you, the Guardians are the worst team in the XFL. It's not even close. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a defense. They have nothing. Broken tackle there. Mack. It is Mack. Return of the Mack. He gets into the end zone. Returns to the end zone for the second time today. 4 touchdown passes now from Jack Cohn as they are pouring it on. 26-6. You have to wonder, is Reed Sinek going to come into the game for the Brahmas? Because this, at some point in the fourth quarter, because this might be garbage time at some point. When the New Jersey Devils play against the 49ers, when the same thing when the New York Giants and San Francisco Giants, they play against each other during their annual picnic. They have an annual picnic every year. They play against each other. I'm going to leave the game. I don't blame you. This is ugly. Okay, so they overturned it. So hang on. Overturned it. Second goal at the 1. Second goal at the 1. He's down at the 1. Now, the interesting thing, again, they don't have a running game. They're averaging 2 yards a carry. So we'll see what they do here. Maybe just QB sneak. Yeah, just QB sneak 3 times if you had to. Yeah. Devils play hockey. That's like a throwback to Mike Francesa days. I love those calls. Handoff. They are going to give it up the middle, and it is a touchdown. It is a touchdown. It is not Ballage. It is not Patrick. It's a guy that hasn't really gotten a whole lot of carries. This is actually his first carry of the game. John Hillman. So take a touchdown off the board, but add another one, 26-6. If they're called the Guardians, why not just collab with Marvel? You think Marvel wants to be associated with this mess? This would be the worst thing to happen in Phase 5. And Quantumania exists, and this would be the worst thing to happen in Phase 5. I've not seen the movie, but I've read the reviews. I've seen the CGI. It's not good. Yeah, I've not done Guardians of the Galaxy ride yet. I haven't been to Disney World in a while. Handoff from the 2, going for 1, they get it. It's 27-6. Has the standard for a blowout score in the past few years more and more comebacks happening? It depends on how the other team is playing. I think it depends on who you have on the other side. Like, I think the standard's different if you have a really good quarterback on the other side. This is a blowout because Paxton Lynch is on the other side. They're not going to come back from this. It's a 3-possession game. They're not coming back from this. If it was 27-6 and Mahomes is on the other side, different story. Phase 4 Marvel is the worst thing ever. Marvel. Yeah, they kind of blew it. They blew it. They needed to take a break after Endgame, and they didn't. And they just... It almost became like a chore to watch all the TV shows and movies. The fact that you shouldn't have to do extra homework besides watching the movies to get an idea of what's going on. Like, that's part of why Top Gun Maverick succeeded, which I think was the best movie of the year. That's probably why it succeeded. You didn't even need to watch the first Top Gun. You knew exactly what was happening. You didn't need to watch the first Top Gun at all. Anything important from the first Top Gun, they showed you. Ballage has 3 yards. 3 yards. Really, I have no interest in the Marvel movies now. And I used to watch like every single one. I have no interest. I watched Spider-Man, which was great. I will watch Guardians 3 when that comes out, because it's the end of the trilogy. But I have no interest in any of the other ones. Like, I still have not seen Wakanda Forever. Because, I mean, the runtime is like 3 hours long. I don't want to watch a 3-hour funeral. Are the St. Louis Cardinals the last time 2 teams in different sports in the same city at the same time? Yes. Yes. How many yards does Cohn have? 165. 165. Yeah, the first Top Gun is good. Don't get me wrong. The first Top Gun is good. It's very cheesy, but it's good. But it's obviously not the best movie, but it's good. The second one is one of the best movies I've ever seen in theaters. Top Gun Maverick is amazing. If you have not seen it, what are you waiting for? How is Jamil doing for the Guardians? Hasn't done a lot today. Yeah, like, I'll watch for the individual people at this point. Like, I'll watch Spider-Man. I'll watch Guardians. That's about it. If they bring back Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans, maybe I'll watch another Marvel movie. I think that loses the emotional weight of Endgame, though, if they come back. Unless they come back in, like, a flashback role. Unless they come back... Like, I don't want something like somehow Palpatine return. I don't want something like that. The last thing I want Marvel to do is pull a Star Wars and just be like, oh, somehow Iron Man returned. That's the last thing I want. Oh, yeah, the soundtrack for the original Top Gun makes that movie. Time to mention Lynch. Yep. Francois at least gives you mobility. Lynch is missing open guys at this point. He's not the guy. What do you think of the Heineken ad? Not crazy about it. I think it's a weird one. Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania will be good. It's out right now. It hasn't gotten great reviews. I hear like Kang is the only good thing about it. But I just don't know why you would launch your villain in an Ant-Man movie. Why would you launch your main villain for the whole series in the most lighthearted part of the thing? It just defeats the whole purpose of the tone. Like, I watched the first two Ant-Man. They're fine movies. They're not great movies, but they're fine. But they're lighthearted. They're fun. They're low stakes. And now we're going to have the highest stakes movie since Endgame. Like, do you not know your audience? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Top Gun 1986 is literally the entire 80s in 2 hours. A lot of shirtless volleyball games on the beach in the 80s. The weekend Top Gun Maverick came out. I went and saw the Bob's Burgers movie. We got the reviews. All right, Lynch is out. It is Francois in the game. So, gain a 5 on the play. Top Gun soundtrack is DX Heavy, which is a synth. Like, oh, I love synth music. Look, you give me any song with a synth is automatically a 5. Automatically. It starts off at a 5 out of 10. Automatically. Top Gun and Caddyshack both have the biggest songs of their soundtrack by the same guy. Kenny Loggins was the soundtrack king. Footloose, same thing. Caddyshack 2, same thing. Any song that Kenny Loggins wrote, odds are it was for a movie. Yeah, Footloose, yeah. Top movies for 2023 right now are Ant-Man, Shazam, and the Mario movie. Mario trailers look good. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed. Cocaine Bear. I heard I heard the Bears only in it for like 15 minutes. That's pass interference on the play. So new set of downs. Ryan Lewis getting called for PI. Yeah, I heard the Bears only in it for 15 minutes. Oh, he wrote What a Fool Believes? He wrote that? Oh, I mean, that's the best Doobie Brothers song. That's the best yacht rock song of all time. Yeah, I might see Cocaine Bear. I might see it. The new Christopher Nolan movie, we'll see Oppenheimer. That looks like it could be good. I mean, Nolan usually delivers, so. Francois drops back. Over the middle, incomplete pass. 10 target on the play. Was the tight end Logan Carter. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. I'm only looking forward to the new Flash movie because Michael Keaton's coming back. It's his version of Batman, yeah. You just saw the new Puss in Boots movie, and it was just as good as everyone says, if not better. I still have not seen it, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. I've heard that's like the best animated film in years. Francois just throws it into the dirt. Screen pass got busted. Oh yeah, Loggins was, they had a ton of hits. Your Mama Don't Dance. I mean, they had a lot. They had a lot of hits, but Kenny Loggins as a solo artist is great. I like Kenny Loggins as a solo artist more than I like him with Loggins and Messina. But some great songs. Heart to Heart, I think, is Keep the Fire Burning is probably his most underrated song. That should have been way bigger than it was. It was a hit, but it should have been way bigger than it was. 3rd and 10. Francois, pocket collapses. He steps up. He tries to run. He picks him about 4 yards on the play. That is nowhere close. 4th and 7, ball at the 39-yard line. They will punt this ball away. Back to the Brahmas. So ever since the opening drive, they've got nothing going. I think Orlando scored opening drive touchdown last week against Houston, and they got nothing going the rest of the way. And the same thing in this game. Where's Shrek 5 when we need it most? Look, if it's like Shrek 1 and 2, I'm all here for it. Field at the 8, but there is a flag on the play. It might be running into the punter. We'll see. If it stands, ball's going to be at the 14-yard line after the return. By Luke Barku, the former San Diego State cornerback. He used to play for Jacksonville. It is roughing the kicker. Johnny Townsend a bit slow to get up, a bit slow to his feet, but it is roughing. He got the plant leg. Yep, he got the plant leg. That's absolutely the right call. He got the plant leg. Can't get the plant leg there. Penalty by number 35. I don't have on my depth chart. I have a 33, who's Drew Beasley. I don't have a 35. Is the Guardians' performance and the Vipers' same issues hurting the league? Look, there's always going to be one bad team. I think the stated issues of the Vipers will hurt the credibility of the league. I think it will hurt the reputation because it's very minor league quality. Francois tries to step up, escape the sack. Can he do it? He does for the moment and escapes it again, and he picks up about 4 yards. So a nice play there. He gets out of 2 or 3 sacks. 2nd and 6, ball at the 41. Toy Story should have ended with 3. Look, I like 4. It's the worst of the series, but I like 4. Sack on the play. Could have been a sack by Tonga Moa. A nice stiff arm there. 2nd and 6 at the 41. Do or die. 4-down territory for the Guardians, you have to think. Toy Story 3 was the end of Andy's story. Toy Story 4 was the end of Woody's story. Now, Toy Story 5, what the heck are you going to do about that? I don't know what Toy Story 5 is going to be. Martin picks up 2 yards on the run, 3rd and 4. Take My Breath Away is one of the best synth bass lines ever. Giorgio Moroder said it's the song he's most proud of. It's a great song. I don't know if I'd say one of the best synth bass lines ever, but it is really, really good. Where does Lamar end up? I don't think he comes back in Baltimore. I think someone's going to trade for him. Where does he end up? Maybe Atlanta? False start. Moving back 5. I'll put it this way. Toy Story 4 was an 8 out of 10. And Toy Stories 1 through 3 were 9 or 10 out of 10. It's going to suck is what Toy Story 5 is going to be. I hope not. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. Although Disney and Pixar's track record lately has not been good. Woody has second thoughts and journeys back to the other toys, but he runs into Dora. Oh, God, crossover of the century. They're not going deep. He's got him. He's got him, and he dropped it. But there is a flag. There is a flag on the play. The intended target, Eli Rogers. Coverage there is on Ryan Lewis, and It looks like it's going to be pass interference. That was close. Let's see. Let's see from this angle. This is going to be the angle. Oh, no, he swiped the arm before the ball came. That is definitely pass interference. That is the right call. Ball will be at the 1 yard line for the Guardians. They also announced frozen 3 and inside out 2. He swiped the arm. He swiped the arm. He swiped the arm. The reverse angle you saw it. The reverse angle you saw it. Cars 4, I mean, honestly, 1 and 3 were pretty good. Just forget that 2 ever happened. Just forget that 2 ever happened. 1 and 3 are pretty good. Frozen 3, look, if the music's good, that's all I care about. Inside Out 2, I mean, that is a movie that's clamoring for a sequel. You could do so many Inside Out movies. You could do the emotions as she, like, falls in love for the first time. You could do the emotions, like, as, like, grieving through a death or something if you want to get heavy. Like, you can do a lot with Inside Out. That's built for a franchise. And that is another false start. It's like the 5th one today. 1st and goal at the 7 now. Zootopia 2, again, that's another one that's built for a sequel. Toy Story 5, I don't know where you go with it. Yeah, Inside Out 2 can work. Inside Out 2 can absolutely work. Soul and Luca were great in classic Pixar level. Soul was great. Soul was great. The Knicks joke was phenomenal. Luca was fine. Luca was a fine, cute movie. What I did like about Luca, what I really liked that a lot of movies don't have anymore, Luca had a villain that was just a villain just to be a villain. I like that. There's so many movies now that like they try these twist villains and it's like it doesn't work. Like twist villains, there's some great ones, and some are just doing it now for the trope, and it's like you can either see it coming a mile away or you can't relate to it at all. Why should I care about it? Luca just has a villain that's just straight up a horrible person. He just is mean to everyone, and that's just what he is. That's his personality. I kind of like that. I kind of like having a one-dimensional villain every now and then. I like that about Luca. All right, 2nd goal at the 4. Is a Ratatouille sequel feasible? That's tough. That should have been a touchdown. Had him on the drag route wide open. Looked like he had Eli Rogers on a drag route. Seth throws behind him and incomplete. 3rd and goal. Yeah, Monsters Inc., best example of a twist villain done right. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm not saying twist villains are bad. But there's some, like Incredibles 2, like what the heck was that? What the heck was the Incredibles 2 villain twist? Zootopia, like seriously, what the heck was that? There's some that are done well. There's some that are really done well. But Robots 2 would have been good with Ron Williams. Ratatouille should have a partnership with Olive Garden. All right, 3rd and goal. Ball is at the 4 yard line. You have to figure 4 down territory here. No, Wally couldn't do a sequel. Wally couldn't do a sequel. Not sure why the clock was stopped, but they are going to get one more playoff. Yeah, Disney and Pixar, they started overdoing it with the twist villain. Which is kind of why I like Inside Out, because you think all along Bing Bong is going to be the twist villain. Like when Bing Bong gets introduced, you absolutely think, oh, I've seen this before. He's the twist villain. He's going to keep him down there. He's going to be selfish. And then, what happens with Bing Bong in the movie happens. And it's like, wait, oh, he wasn't the twist villain. Like, I was waiting for him to turn evil and turn on the emotions. And then, the saddest thing in the movie happens. I'm like, what? Like, I did not see that coming. Like, I think a lot of people thought Bing Bong was going to be the twist villain in Inside Out. When he appeared on the screen, you probably thought the same thing. And I was like, nope, he just cares about Riley and he'll die for her. And Inside Out is the saddest. It's one of the best movies Pixar's ever made. It might be the best movie Pixar's ever made. It's either that or Toy Story 2. It's a toss-up, but I mean, Inside Out is phenomenal. And like there are two moments in that movie where it's just super sad. Super sad. I got a funny story from Inside Out. My sister's gonna hate me for this, but she doesn't watch the streams, so I don't care. Love my sister to death, but she's gonna hate me for saying this. She's gonna hate me for this. So I saw Inside Out with a family when it came out. Loved it. My mom and my dad, at least. Loved it. And then I saw it a second time with my sister and her friend because I want to see it again in theaters. And I rarely see movies in theaters twice. I rarely do it. But Inside Out was so good, I had to do it again. So I watched it with my sister, and I asked her after the movie, so what did you think? Again, this is someone that grew up on Disney, too. She grew up on Disney. She's seen Pixar movies before. She's seen other stuff. She was going into 10th grade at the time. So she has a brain. She has a brain. I was going into my senior year of high school. So it was like July of 2014. Right? No, Inside Out was 2015. So she was going to 11th grade. She was going to 11th grade. So competent individual, has a brain, and all that. I love her to death. I asked her what she thought of the movie, and she said she was confused. And I was like, wait, why are you confused about the movie? What confused you? And she said, I kid you not, this is real. This is real. She said, well, they introduced the volcano early on, and then the volcano didn't appear on the screen after like the first 5 minutes. And I thought it was going to be a musical because of it, and it wasn't. And I was just wondering how the volcano tied into anything. I'm like, what volcano? And she was like, the singing volcano. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, at the start of the movie, the volcano. How did that not, like what was the point of the volcano? That had nothing to do with the rest of the movie. And I'm just like, no. You didn't seriously think that lava was part of the movie. You didn't see the credits pop up for lava? You know they do Pixar shorts. You've seen the movie before. Or you've seen other Pixar movies before. Because that's pass interference. You've seen other Pixar movies before. Like, how did you think lava was a part of the movie? I was just baffled. So she thought the entire 2 hours of the movie, she was waiting for the volcano to reappear. And it never reappeared because it was the Pixar short the year before. I'm thinking to myself, how? And I just started cracking up when she said that. I was like, you seriously did not think that lava was part of Inside Out. You seriously did not think that. I was like, what the heck? Like, that's the short that airs that Pixar always does. And you've seen Pixar movies before. Hey, seriously, the one scene in Incredibles 2 almost scared me. Screensaver basically almost made a less role. Yeah. Incredibles 2 easily could have been PG-13. The Luca villain Urkel was great classic Disney villain. One of my friends say look similar to him. But Luca villain, yeah, and they are going to use their challenge to challenge the pass interference. Yeah, it's just a classic villain. It's just one-dimensional. He's evil. His motivation is just he wants to win. There are some great twist villains, but I appreciate every now and then just a straight-up villain. Like, I appreciate... Like, I think that's one of the things about Top Gun Maverick, why it worked, is that they had to fight the enemy. Who is the enemy? We don't know. There's no twist where we thought we were allies with them and then they become the enemy. There's no twist. We have to fight the enemy. All right. That's all we got to do. And they do win their challenge. They do win the challenge. It is no pass interference on the play. They originally called it on Jack Kerner. So So they lose their challenge, but it's a good loss of challenge because it's 4th and goal now at the 4. They have to go for it. This is pretty much the game. You ride a Vespa also. They made Vespa seem like the coolest thing in the world. And they're handing it off on 4th and goal at the 4. But Martin bulls his way in. There's a flag on the play. Will it come back? I'm telling you, Jermaine Martin is a wrecking ball, but it is holding. It is holding. And now I think you have to kick the field goal, make it an 18-point game, and it's 2 possessions. Because you kick a field goal, it's still a 2-possession game. You need a touchdown 3. This is getting ugly. And again, after this stream is done, we will exit this stream and go on to the final game. We'll have a separate stream for that between Houston and Arlington. That should be a great game. 4th and goal. They're going for it. They are going for it from the 14-yard line. Not sure I agree with this one. Francois, going end zone. That is interference. And they don't have a challenge left. That is a first down. Never turned around. That one's very easy to call. Tenny Adewusi getting called for PI. So 1st and goal. Does anyone kick after a touchdown this week? You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. You can go for 1 point from the 2-yard line, 2 points from the 5, or 3 from the 10. There is no extra point. Yeah, I think it might be a play ahead. My cable is behind. I don't know what it is. It's kind of why I'm glad about the Sunday ticket deal, because with that going to YouTube, because now everyone's going to be at the same time. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line in this penalty fest nowadays. They give it to Martin. Can he get that touchdown that he deserved from the last play? He does not get in. 2nd and goal at the 1. Renegades, Roughnecks, a Civil War rivalry. Do I like the challenge anything rule? Yes. Yes, I like it. I like that you only get 1 a game, but I do like that. All right, timeout taken by the Brahmas. They have 2 left. In 27-6, 13:31 left. You have to figure this is going to go to Martin. Again, 2nd and goal. If it doesn't work, you go 3rd and goal, play action. See what happens. See if you can get someone in the flat, maybe Becker in the flat, or Latmer in the flat. And then 4th and goal, you probably just give it to Martin. But you have to figure Martin with how well he's been running. Again, this is another game with Martin where the first quarter he did great, and then they just stopped giving him the ball. Like, he's only got 8 carries, but he's got 49 yards. Go Brahmas. I hope we aren't the Falcons of this league. I'd be stunned if you blow this lead. With the way that Cohn's playing, with the way Orlando's defense is looking, I'd be stunned if you blow this lead. Granted, you blew the lead with the Battlehawks, but I'd be stunned in this one. All right, Martin the lone back. You got 2 out wide. Box looks stacked. Bring him in. It's going to Martin. And I don't know why you call that. You call a weak side run. Why are you calling that? 3rd and goal now at the 5. I don't know why you're calling a run there to the weak side where there's no blockers and you have to have Martin do it himself. I don't know what that was. They brought Carter in, and then they call the play opposite Carter's side. What is this? What is Buckley doing? What are these calls? All right, 3rd and goal at the 5-yard line. All right. Francois drops back. He's got him. Touchdown. Cody Latmer. Did I call it or what? I said 2nd and goal, they're going to run. 3rd and goal, if it doesn't work, they're going to go to Latmer. Did I call it or what? Touchdown, Guardians. They are on the board. First time they've scored a touchdown outside the first quarter all season. 27-12. What are they going to do here? Usually they go for 2. Usually they go for 2. We'll see what they opt for here. It's a 2-possession game now. These 3-point conversions, though, yeah, I would not go for 3 here. I would just play it safe, go for 2. They are going to go for 2. So again, 27-12. Let's see. Everyone's lined up on the right side of the field. Let's see if they bring someone over to the left. Let's see, Francois, they're bringing the pressure. Francois, over the middle, same play as they ran on 3rd and goal. That one falls incomplete. That one is low. They were looking at Cody Latimer once again. The same exact play. This time the Brahmas are ready for it, and it is no good. We're 27-12. Guardians keeping it interesting. The over has hit for those who are curious. The under hit by a lot last night. Again, after this, kicking off in 40 minutes, the final game of Week 2, the Renegades of Arlington taking on the Roughnecks of Houston. 2 teams at 1-0, 2 teams looking like title favorites. Houston in particular. I hate how the XFL graphics are on the bottom. I mean, most of them are like that nowadays. Most of them are like that nowadays. Also, in terms of what's on the agenda for this week, let's talk about that while we have this commercial break. In terms of what's on the agenda, we have coming up JG9 video coming out tomorrow. Hopefully, we have a JG8 video coming out tomorrow. I don't know. Or not JG8, JG7 video. Hopefully, we have a JG7 video coming out. I don't know. You will see. Fingers crossed on that one. We'll have another JG7 video coming out later this week. I have my editor on that. JG8 video, we should have 2 out this week. One that I edit, one that my editor edits. We'll figure that out. And then we have live NFL trivia Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are playing for, as things stand, $45 in cash prizes. Should be really, really fun. Yeah, they should be on the bottom. The graphics on the top, like how Fox used to do it, terrible. Absolutely terrible. It should be the bottom. So it doesn't cut off any of the screen. We also have a video coming out on Tuesday that was a Patreon request. Because if you are in the top tier on Patreon, you can request certain video topics to cover. So we have that. And that will come out on Tuesday. Something bizarre in the history of the Super Bowl that I think you guys are going to like. Patreon request on probably the most famous incident of trash talk gone horribly wrong at the Super Bowl. Cost a man his job because of how bad it was. It's 27-12. I'm going to take my first sip of water. I have not taken a sip of water this entire broadcast. Brahmas ahead of the Guardians after that touchdown drive. Led by Francois, thanks to a couple of penalties. I mean, I don't like how the bug looks, but I like that it's at the bottom. How many yards does Cone have? I think same as last time, because they haven't had the ball since. 165 yards. Having a great game. The most bizarre thing in Super Bowl 57 is why Maya Rudolph invaded the M&M's ads. Yeah, I'm just confused. I thought it was going to be a whole series of ads, like a 3-part series. Muff kickoff by the Brahmas, but it is recovered at the 22-yard line, so saved on the play by Fred Brown, but very dicey situation. Very dicey situation. Yeah, my thing with the whole Maya Rudolph thing was, it was only one ad. I thought they were going to do like a 3-part series. Like the first one would be that one. The second one would be the M&M's trying to devise a plan to get their jobs back. Or they live life as like they're on the streets, they're homeless, they don't have a job, they're looking for other lines of employment because of this. And then the third part is they get their job back. But no, it's just one ad. Like, what is the point? What the heck is the point of this? Blown opportunity. First and 10 ball at the 22-yard line. 12:41 left in this one. Cohen takes it, hands it off to Ballage. Able to power forward for a gain of 3, maybe 2. Second 7 after 25. I want to guess January 1992, where the Bills defensive line coach made fun of the Washington offensive line coach for the subject of that video. That is an awfully good guess. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but that is an awfully good guess as to what the patron requested. That is an awfully good guess. And you are going to be in a pretty good spot on Tuesday when it comes out. Oh, FanDuel ad was terrible. The FanDuel ad, first, I'm still not convinced at all. I've done the research. I'm not convinced that was live. I'm not convinced in the slightest that was live. I did a whole video about that. There's no way it was live. Nothing about it. There were frame differences. It looked too polished to be live. There's no way. There is no way that was live. The wind was off. It was just bizarre. 3rd and 3, Cohen. Pump fakes and throws it away. Throws it away. So a 3 and out for the Brahmas. And hang on a second, folks. Hang on a second. Was FanDuel the most overhyped at? No. The most overhyped was Lemmings. Lemmings at Super Bowl 19. The follow-up to 1984. You should have seen the hype for Lemmings. I did a whole video about it. You should have seen the hype for that. The Apple literally had seat cushions at Super Bowl 19 given out to everyone at the stadium. They showed the ad before the game at that Super Bowl. They never show the ads in the stadium. They show that ad because it was that hyped. Guardians ball fielded at the 13-yard line, taken out to the 20. 25-yard line is where the Guardians will start this drive, down by 15 points. Return there. Again, I don't have a 32 on my depth chart, so I can't say who it was. Yeah, I don't know why KM's got defensive about it. Like, it clearly... I'd be shocked if it was real. I would be shocked if it was real. There's, like, all the evidence that I compiled. It just, even if it was real, it didn't work. It didn't work. Like... It was so rushed. It was so bad. All right, Francois, dropping back. He's got pressure. He flips it off to Martin, who's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice play to flip it off. Doesn't get anything, but he did avoid losing yards. Jermaine Martin with the 0-yard gain, and we have an injured Brahma on the field. It looks like it's Delonte Scott, number 45. So I'll stop the clock for the moment. And that'll take us to an injury timeout. Will this game run into the Renegades game is the question. This might run into the Renegades game. And that game will start at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. I have to make sure that I have the remote ready to flip over for that. Which I do. Just have to stretch and get it. And that will be on ESPN2. And I'll do a completely different stream for that. Did they have Gronk deliberately miss to try and make more? No. No, I don't think he deliberately missed. FanDuel wanted him to make the kick. They clearly panicked if he didn't make the kick. They were clearly panicking. Because everything about that was just so rushed. Again, it's 27-12 right now. Guardians have 2nd and 10 after the Martin grab and the injured Brahma. Scott down. Again, after this, we will do the Renegades stream against the Roughnecks. I think the problem right now is that, yeah, they have these rules to speed up the game, but these games are taking the same length that NFL games are taking. These games are taking the same exact length. They're taking 3 hours to complete. I thought the goal was to do in 2.5. And it is just not working out that way. For a bit, I thought the Blue Moon commercial was a scam, but then I realized the whole DraftKings stuff was free to play. Yeah. All right, 2nd and 10. Scott is standing, which is good. He's on the sideline right now. Second and 10. Clock is running again. Francois back there. Martin. Got 3 wide. Francois, there's pressure. He's going to dump it off to Martin yet again. And once again, stopped at the line of scrimmage. So back-to-back throws by Martin that go nowhere. 3rd and 10. Ball at the 25-yard line. We already tanking. I don't even know if you can tank in this league because they might change the rules like the USFL did where the final game where the second worst team gets the #1 pick. Didn't Snickers do a live Super Bowl a few years ago? I remember they set the score. I think they did. Hey, JG9, how's your weekend? Can you believe the weekend it's been college baseball? Yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Oklahoma State, back-to-back no-hitters? Like, come on. Like, that's amazing. Francois, going past the sticks. It is tipped and incomplete. It is tipped and unable to change directions in time was Javonte Payton, so it looks like a 3-and-out. I'd be shocked if they go for it here. It's a bit too early to do that. I will say, if that throw was just a bit further, there was no one behind him. Francois missed on that throw. Just got back from the Suns-Bucks game this afternoon, enjoying your stream. Amazing game. Yeah, great game. Oh, they are going for it. Yeah, great game. Even without Durant, even without Giannis. I mean, great game. All right, Francois, miscommunication. It is picked off. Should not have picked it off. Although I might regret that if this run back is good. All right, actually made no difference. Intercepted on the play by the Brahmas. It is number 22, Anthony Texada. I was going to say should have dropped it, but the return, it got him actually pretty good field position. I think it actually got him past the 25-yard line. So it actually worked out that he caught the pick. They're actually going to start better than they were. So I take that back. It's not even an arm punt because he got past the he got to the 23-yard line, and the ball was at the 21-yard line. So it was actually actually take it as like a loss of 4. It's actually better that he picked it off, which is weird, but handoff to Ballage, cuts back. Or no, it's not Ballage. It is going to be on the run. Patrick picks up 5. Yeah, it's a bad arm punt. There's good arm punts and bad arm punts. That was a bad arm punt. That was a bad one. 2nd and 5. Is Jamil starting? They don't really have starters necessarily. They just rotate guys in and out. Jamil's been playing. He just hasn't done a lot. But they rotate a lot of guys in and out. I see Payton out there. I see Rogers and Latmer, who's really tight end, and Jamil. So it's really a lot of different guys out there. All right, 2nd and 5. The Brahmas can make it a 3-possession game on this drive and ice it. Run to Patrick. Gain of 4. 3rd and 1. Third and 1. Ball is at the 12-yard line. Again, a field goal here does not ice it. It's 30-12 if you get the field goal. So it's still a 2-possession game under these rules. But a touchdown here would all but end this one. Yeah, Flacco approves. So this might be 4-down territory. Here. Handoff. Patrick cuts back. breaks a tackle, and he gets down at the 10-yard line, gain of 2, and that's enough for a first down. I think Vegas might be the worst coach. Yes, Rod Woodson has no clue what he's doing. Orlando's just a bad team. I don't think Buckley's a good coach, but they are just a bad team. Talent-wise, Vegas should be a lot better than they are. But Rod Woodson is just bad at managing the clock. He's bad at playing to their strengths. They should be a lot better than they are. Best coach team right now, I'd probably say Houston. But it's early. Handoff, Patrick. It looks like Ballage is no longer the starting back. It's going to be Patrick who's back there. It's probably for the best. Ballage was not getting anything going. 2nd and 7 at the 7 south. 2nd and goal. I mean, you figure 4-down territory here for the simple fact that even if you don't get it, it's a 2-possession game and you're pinning them deep. Kick the field goal. It's still a 2-possession game, but now they're going to start at probably like the 35-yard line. So you figure 4-down territory here. Keep this clock running if you're San Antonio. Wait, the Brahmas were only 3.5-point favorites. I should have bet on that. I should have absolutely placed some money on that. That looked very, very. I think I thought the Brahmas were going to win this game. Ballage has done nothing. Ballage has done nothing all season. Jake Paul's box tour has to end soon now that he's finally lost the fight. I didn't even see. Did he lose yesterday? If he did, thank God. About time. He actually fought a real person. All right, 3rd and 8. The signs won't be good as Jack Hundred said. Honestly, I think Ward's been very good. But Cohen, just as you said, that he got sacked. Now you kick the field goal. We're also 14. Honestly, I think Ward's been very good. I've not seen any dumb decisions that he's made. He made smart calls in the game last Sunday. He's made smart calls today. Honestly, I honestly think Ward is probably of the coaches that were former NFL players that have no coaching experience, Ward is the best one. Total attendance for the game, 12,011. We have a donation from Weather Chart. Thank you so much. A $2 donation. Thank you so much for that. 12,011. Yeah, that sounds about right. 40-yard field goal. It is up by Romo, and it is good. John Parker Romo makes the kick. It is still a 2-possession game. Have I ever talked with Your Name Tree? I've been on a show. I've been on Dumpster Fire. Yeah, I love Your Name Tree. I follow him on Twitter. We interact on Twitter all the time. I've been on Dumpster Fire. He's awesome. Love that man. Love that man. Yeah, 12,000 for, because you figure the lower bowl probably holds 25, and they sold 90% of one side because they didn't sell the other side for TV purposes. So 12,000 sounds about right. 30-12 is your score. I don't know if my hotel gets FX. I have to check. Because I'll do a Saturday stream. If the Wi-Fi is good and my hotel gets FX, I'll do it. And we will be doing one more stream after this, right after, with the Renegades Roughnecks game. And then we will be off for the next week because I will be on my cruise. But we will hopefully do a Saturday night stream. We'll see. I don't know how good the audio quality is going to be. Being in a hotel, you don't know what the Wi-Fi situation. They're trying to get Steve Spurrier as head coach. He's probably retired. They're going to start the 26-yard line. Ted's going to be bad during Easter, during March Madness, and now Paxton Lynch is coming back in. I'm very confused. So Francois can move. He was moving you down the field to some extent, and now you're bringing back Lynch. Cone 165. Still at 165. Do you think a local middle school field is better than Cashman Field? Yes. Maybe not my middle school field. My middle school football field was pretty bad. But I've seen some nice ones. Lynch. Yeah, that's going to get done. A flat route. Falls incomplete at his feet to Logan Carter. Opinion on the Champions League. I mean, I'm not sure what there is to say necessarily. I Man, no, the Premier League's been doing terrible in the Champions League. This feels like Man City's to lose if they can get past Red Bull or Rosensport. Rosenball is they're not really allowed to be called Red Bull. I feel like this is Man City's to lose, but I know the Premier League's been doing terribly in the first leg of the round of 16. 3rd and 3 ball to 33. 4 down territory all the way through. Easter weekend, 1 Friday game, 2 Saturday, 1 Monday. Or a Thursday game. You could do a Thursday game. And they're going to run it up the middle with Martin. I don't know if he got it. Or Kelvin Taylor, rather. I don't know if he got the first. We'll see where they mark it. That's an awfully close spot. They are going to give him the first down. So gain of 3, 1st and 10. Clock is moving, though. 3:30 left. They're down by 18. They need a touchdown. And a 3. An onside kick. So 4th and 15. Then another touchdown. Then another 3. Not saying it can't be done because the Battlehawks did this last week against the Brahmas, but it's not looking likely. I'll put it that way. Lynch. And it's not going to happen with passes like that, even though that fell incomplete. Now if it makes a difference because the clock runs. Second and 10. Under 3 minutes left. Why are they huddling? You gotta go. You gotta go. You need to show some urgency. Letting the play clock run all the way down for Lynch. Scrambles and throws incomplete. Intended target there. Dedrick Thomas. Lynch goes to the ground. He gets back up. 3rd down. 2:40 left. And we're going to be a Big Four team named after a corporate sponsor like the 700 Red Bull clubs, minus the Packers. A Big Four team? No. No, I don't think we're going to see a Big Four team. I don't think the owners would allow it. You bet on Spurs in the Champions League? I'm not crazy about that. Why is Lynch just checking down? What is a 3-yard pass going to do on 3rd down when the clock runs? I'll take us to the 2-minute warning. This is the ball game after the 2-minute warning. Because Lynch couldn't go down the field except for that one throw he had at the start of the game. Everything else has been a check down. Francois was at least going down the field. Now you take him out, you put Lynch back in. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the Guardians are doing. This is a poorly coached team with a poor roster. And this has been an ugly, ugly game. I will say, I think that Roughnecks Renegades will be great. I think Roughnecks Renegades will be a great game. If Paxton Lynch is still terrible. Yeah. We have 2 minutes left in this one. Again, after this, I will end the stream, but then be right back on with the Roughnecks Renegades stream. Fourth and 7 when we get back from this commercial break. This is the ball game. And thank you guys so much for tuning in for this stream. I know the game has not been the best. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're going to stick around for the stream later, thank you again for tuning in. I paid to watch Paxton Lynch play today. Do you feel bad for me? Yes. That was your mistake, paying to watch Paxton Lynch play, because he is, Could have told you how this one was going to go. Fourth and 7. Paxton Lynch is in at quarterback instead of Francois. I'm not sure why. True, I will not do it again. Yeah, I think attendance is just going to keep dropping in Orlando. I don't see how attendance gets better. The 71 Bengals are the best bad team. They were 4-10 with a positive point differential. Yeah, that's a good option. That's a good option. 82 Niners were not good, but at the same time, the strike hurt them a lot. How many AFL teams do you think will be there in 2024? I would go 12. I think 12 are going to be there. Is there a number baseball like 39-6? No, there's a Mendoza line at 200, so maybe that, which is worse than the Mendoza line, but I don't know. Possible going to get 5 more yards? No. No, they're just going to run after this. They're just going to run at the clock if they get the ball back. 4th and 7. Lynch, pump fakes. And even if that was completed, it would have been short of the sticks. Because of course it would have been, because Lynch only checks down. Incomplete. Brahmas get the ball, and that should be all she wrote. Luke Barku on the breakup there and on the coverage. Any idea why the NFL bans any team other than the Packers from being publicly owned? It's a good question. I think it just becomes a bit messy. I think it's just the messiness of it. The Packers kind of had to do it. You make the games way better. I will also be watching the next one. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Loving the live streams. Thank you so much. All right. 1st and 10. We'll see if the Guardians even attempt to call timeout and stop the clock. I think Orlando is going to challenge the play, which honestly is not a bad idea. Honestly, challenge whether there's pass interference here. You have nothing to lose. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Orlando is challenging whether Barku committed pass interference on this play. They have their challenge left. And we will see. If he did, that's a really dumb penalty to commit because he was short of the sticks. You need clear and inconclusive evidence to overturn this one. Guardians are challenging it. We will see what the call is. How is Lynch a first-round pick? He's tall. That's about it. He fits the Elway mold. Right, that angle doesn't tell me anything. I need to see the reverse angle. I need to see the reverse angle. Yeah, here's the angle. Did Barku commit PI? That looks clean from my vantage point. That looks clean. Over under 39.6, that can't possibly happen. No, you'll do 39.5, but 39.6, never. Because what's the point? Yeah, the call in the field stands, so Guardians lose a timeout. Just going to hand it off up the middle to Ballage. And that should be all she wrote. Hopefully Buckley doesn't call any timeouts. He won't. He's just going to get out of this game. So the Brahmas will go to 1-1. They come back from their awful collapse against St. Louis, and they get the dub. Orlando will drop to 0-2. 2nd and 4. Again, after this, stay tuned as I will exit this stream, and I will start the Renegades Roughnecks stream, which should be a much better game. 2nd and 4. Just killing the clock at this point. Ballage picks up 1 yard. The one thing the Brahmas do to figure out, the running game has not been there. Only 2.4 yards per carry today. They did not do well against the run last week. And it's only going to get tougher from here. 3rd and 3. Figure one more play. And then we will have both teams walk off the field and get out of here. Should Cam Newton and Mitch Trubisky go to the XFL? No. Cam Newton, I think, is retired. I think he's done. Trubisky, I mean, he's making money as an NFL backup. He's still a pretty quality NFL backup. I don't know why he would want to go to the XFL or USFL. Ballage on the carry, gets 7 yards. That is it. The final score from this one, 30-12. Thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, no, you're allowed to kneel, but they're just running out the clock. You're allowed to kneel. They just want to run out the clock because the Guardians had timeouts. So with that being said, this is Jared Gare 9. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back in literally 30 seconds with the brand new stream where we'll do the Roughnecks game. Roughnecks Renegades coming up in just a bit. So I will see you guys literally in 5 minutes. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, if this is the last time you're tuning in, or I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.